You're watching Peloton Statement Saturday.
On a chilly fall-like afternoon, welcome to Annapolis. The brigade of midshipmen making their way into Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium for the matchup of the early window. The South Florida Bulls ranked in the top 25 against the Navy midshipmen, a pair of 7-win teams. The flyover concluding moments ago on Senior Day, no less here in Annapolis. And the stakes, they could not be any higher today. South Florida with a win this afternoon. Their percentages in terms of reaching the college football playoff rise to almost 50%. Meanwhile, for the Naval Academy, you look at the American Conference standings, Navy is in position to play in the American Conference Championship game if the midshipmen can finish strong, including a win here today on Senior Day. ESPN College Football is presented by Tums. So glad you could join us. They remember November, the popular phrase this time of year. He's Sam Macho. I'm Roy Philpott. Taylor Davis joins us on the sideline in just one moment. The stakes today, Sam, could not be any higher.
It feels like a playoff game already. There's so much on the line. For South Florida, if they win this game, the path is relatively easy for them to make a college football playoff. And Navy can stay in the hunt with an American championship and being one of those 5 highest-ranked conference champions.
Yeah, a pair of 7-win teams led by incredible quarterbacks that do it in somewhat different ways, with Byron Brown for USF and Blake Horvath for the Naval Academy.
There are different styles of quarterbacks. Blake Horvath, he's 6 feet, 195, kind of skinnier but fast. Byron Brown, on the other hand, is a tank. He's 6'3", 232, built like a linebacker. And oh, by the way, he can throw the ball as well. I was down on the field and I saw this dude. I was like, man, this guy can go. And you turn on the tape, you will see the same types of things. He has a sense of patience to him. He's a cerebral quarterback, but when he decides to turn it on, as a defender, you might want to get out the way.
He's got a chance to throw for 3,000 yards, rush for 1,000 this season down in Tampa. The other side of the equation is Blake Horvath. We check in with Taylor Davis for our LinkedIn sideline reports.
Well, Roy, for the last time, Blake Horvath will take the field here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. As is tradition here at Navy, last night, all of the seniors got up, gave individual speeches to their teammates. Blake Horvath emphasized his time here at Navy has been impactful, not because it was immediate success, quite the opposite. It included challenge, it included failure, and it's equipped him for whatever the next chapter brings. He said participating in Navy football has felt like a kid playing the game that I've always loved. Roy, he's as humble as they come, but we know everyone around Navy football program is thrilled Blake Horvath has been here in Annapolis.
And he missed the start last week at Notre Dame, healthy this week and ready to go. You saw the record at 17-4 as a starting signal caller. And the Navy, led by Brian Newberry this season, Sam, an unblemished record. They're poised to make a run at this American Conference Championship.
They play really well at home, and offensively, they're one of the best running attacks in all of college football. One of their struggles has been how to slow people down on defense, but Brian Newberry will have his guys ready on Senior Day.
Alex Golesh, of course, one of the popular names in coaching searches throughout the land these last couple of weeks, and with good reason. Former Tennessee assistant play caller. He has put South Florida back on the map and a chance to go to the playoff for the first time in school history this season. What a year it has been, including the win at the Swamp that set the college football universe ablaze way back in week 2, a victory against Boise State. We are ready to go on Senior Day in Annapolis. Navy won the coin toss and deferred. The Bulls to receive the football first. Alvon Isaac from his own 5 and weaves his way across the 20. Cut down quickly there. Bulls will take over with Byron Brown as the starting quarterback. And the numbers for Brown now as senior. He has waited for his time to shine, and well, he has taken it to an entirely different level this campaign.
He's the only player in the nation with over 2,000 passing yards and over 700 rushing yards. But look what he's done in conference. The team's averaging 361 yards. Look at those touchdown numbers. Byron Brown doesn't just do it himself. He has a supporting cast, but he's the engine that makes it go.
He's accounting for nearly 19 points per game, 3rd in the country. So he produces and he scores. Nakai Davenport off the right edge. He'll push the pile to the 25 and be brought down there. Davenport, the sophomore out of Roswell, Georgia, and a physical running back at 6 feet, nearly 220 pounds. A different dimension in this Bulls backfield, and they will go fast. Brown will keep it after the fake and chop down near the 30. It'll be 3rd and short.
You said it just a second ago, Roy. This team will go fast. South Florida is one of the fastest paced offenses in college football. They want to keep you on your toes as a defense. But notice on 3rd down is when they try to slow it down just a little bit to make sure they're in the right play.
Tush-push formation on 3rd and short after a gain of 5. And Brown waited for his moment. There are penalty flags down. It is enough to move the chains, and let's see if Navy was offsides.
Offside, defense number 96. 5-yard penalty will be enforced in the previous spot, resulting in a 1st down.
Landon Robinson, one of their defensive leaders, is a little bit offsides. When you're in that tush-push formation, you want to try and get as tight to the ball as possible. But unfortunately for the defense, you have to make sure you're behind the football. So I understand the excitement, the energy, the eagerness, but you have to be just an inch or two back to keep from being offsides.
And the pace with which both of these teams execute their offense is vastly different. South Florida literally the quickest pace in the country. An RPO on the play fake. Almost felt like a basketball play, gain of 3. Jackson Campbell with a stop. What does the pace do for an opposing defense if you're a starting linebacker?
It's like a fast break. They're playing basketball on turf. As a linebacker, you have to just make your tackles and stay in your gaps.
Play action for Brown. Heaves it just past the line to gain. That's enough for the 1st down. Jeremiah Coger. As Nick Bell brings him down to the turf, that'll move the chains. And Sam, before you can finish the play call, they are back at it. And there goes Davenport, and a shoestring away from scoring a touchdown. He was tripped up at the last possible moment.
They're going to go back to that play. You see gaps like that open up, you want to repeat it.
So we're going to press the X button, the circle button. It's Davenport. Whichever button it is, he tumbles to the 45. Griffin Willis, Jackson Campbell brought him down.
I talked to one of the defensive staff members of Navy. They said that South Florida wants to play basketball out here. They want to be physical, fast break offense. So you have to be able to slow them down with your physicality.
Fake it to Davenport. Brown wants it on, heaves it deep. Man-to-man coverage. Little hand fighting and incomplete. Coger, the intended receiver. Bell with the coverage again.
Jeremiah Coger, a true freshman, about 6'5", and that's the thing you have to be alert of. We talk about Byron Brown and the running game and all they do in the offensive line, and then all of a sudden they take a shot down the field. It was severely underthrown, but Nick Bell's got to be in better position because that was not the best position to be in as a DB.
It was 5'10", trying to cover 6'4", and he did it. 3rd down and 8, first big play of the game. Quarterback run over the left edge, and Navy ready and waiting. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. It'll be 4th down and long decision time for Alex Golish.
So 3rd and 8, you're usually thinking it's going to be a passing play, but Coleman Colley is able to make that tackle as a linebacker. Notice everyone has great hands at the line of scrimmage, so there's no knockback is what people call it on defense. No one's getting knocked back. They're pushing the offensive linemen backwards.
Luke Goder on to punt for the Bulls. Brandon Chapman back deep for the Mids. Sam, it feels like the kind of game any stop by either side defensively is an enormous win, especially for Navy. As the ball checks up to the 10 after a punt of 32. Midshipmen get the football for the first time after forcing the South Florida punt when we come back to Annapolis.
ESPN College Football is presented by Tums Fast Heartburn Relief, so you can love food back.
Special day back in Annapolis. Brigade of Midshipmen making their way onto the field shortly before kickoff on Senior Day here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. That is Blake Horvath, who has an outstanding opportunity to go over 1,000 yards rushing today. His numbers throughout his career running this hybrid wing T offense with Drew Cronick, nothing short of sensational. Quarterback keeper and a short gain as we take a look at our impact players brought to you by Mattress Firm.
Start with two seniors on Navy side of the ball. Eli Heidenreich and Alex Teska. 6 feet, 206, 6 feet, 192. Not the biggest guys, but they run hard. On defense, Mac Harris, the linebacker, the leader. Then Jarvis Lee, he's a nickel, but you can find him in the backfield. He loves to blitz and get quarterback hits and hurries.
Sam, he was the shooting guard last week for South Florida, accounting for 2 defensive touchdowns, essentially, on the pick 6 and the strip deep in the backfield that led to a scoop and score. Late toss, penalty marker down to Heidenreich, and Eli Heidenreich, who has NFL potential, according to his head coach, Brian Newberry, escapes for a nice gain. Tim Rich, our referee today.
Offside, defense, number 11. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
DJ Harris.
We talked, Roy, with Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator for South Florida. He said he expects this game to be played on the edges. One of the strong suits of South Florida defensively is their defensive line and their inside linebackers. But this triple option offense forces everyone, both inside and outside, to be ready.
Shane Reynolds now in the backfield joining Blake Horvath. Wants to go back against the grain and broken up at the last minute. South Florida snipped that one out. Nothing easy. Heidenreich on the crosser was open for a minute, but Fred Gaskin broke it up at the last second.
Fred Gaskin, 5'10", 198, a sophomore. He's a former quarterback, so he sees this happening before. Watch, he's a safety, so he sees all the actions going one way. He stays patient, and he sees Heidenreich coming back across the field. So great play by Gaskin, evaluating what was happening and not getting fooled by that action to the left.
Horvath with the incompletion, 2nd down and 10. Navy, the team that possesses the football more than anybody in America. South Florida, the exact opposite, and Teska's going to be tripped up. Mac Harris able to get there. Short gain, it'll be 3rd and long.
So far, we've seen a defense that has been assignment sound. Yes, there was that offsides, but for the most part, this defense on the inside and the outside have been where they're supposed to be. It's early in the game, so expect Navy to continue to challenge the entirety of the field.
One of my favorite questions to talk to defensive coordinators facing the triple option. Did you practice this week without the football just to get the eye discipline right? Todd Orlando confirmed to us earlier in the week that's exactly what they did. Inside give. There's an opening and a first down. Teska off to the races. Alex Teska to the house, and Navy on the board first. On senior day, the senior cashes in from 76. Kirkwood on for the extra point. Perfect in that department this year. And now 38 tries. Longest run of the season for the Mids. It comes at a critical time. Their final home game of 2025.
Alex Teska has been battling injury all season long, and he's finally getting healthy. He's got a big old knee brace on his right knee, but it doesn't matter. The blocks down the field from the offensive line. You make a safety miss, and then show off the speed to run all the way to the end zone for a touchdown, Navy.
You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. Back in Annapolis. Fast start for the home team. Alex Teska from 76 yards moments ago as we take a look at more than a home team brought to you by Cracker Barrel. And on senior day, always imperative to get off to a fast start. And for Blake Horvath, symbolic, carrying the American flag, their final home start. The captains, Horvath and Landon Robinson, and then moments ago, Alex Teska as well. There's stories to be told for the generations to come, and the impact that they've made on this Navy football program. An emotional Eli Heidenreich on the playing surface moments ago. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. You never know what's going to happen this late in this season. The Bulls with playoff aspirations. Navy wants to win the American this go around. Jaquan Smith has it. And the second possession for South Florida begins at its own 19-yard line.
Just going back to that touchdown play, Navy challenges you so many different ways, but keep an eye on number 2, the safety, Tavin Ward. He's pretty much man-to-man. You see him on 46, but he overruns the play. He's going to run, and then it's going to get cut back. So every single individual on the defense has to be assignment sound, but also have to be sound tacklers in order to keep Navy from having explosive plays.
3rd and 9, he picked up 76, longest run of the year. Davenport motions out. He'll get it on the swing. Needed a couple of blockers, does not find him. Coleman calling. The second time we've called his name in this first quarter, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, Kenneth McShann on the outside, he helped make that play as well. He was in his gap. He shed a blocker and made sure that ball got cut back inside.
McShann from Birmingham. His penalty marker flies in. He wants to be an astronaut.
That was a recruiting
center, Cole Best.
That was a recruiting pitch, right, for Kenneth McShann. It's like, hey, man, we got the most astronauts ever.
Brian Newberry, yeah, confirming to the recruit at the time, Kenny McShann, you want to be an astronaut, you come here, that's exactly what you can do. And then we asked Coach Newberry about it. He said, you know, I'm not sure if I remember that. Kenny certainly did. 2nd and 12 after the infraction, approaching 9 to play in the first. Brown sidearm delivery. Pass is caught by Christian Neptune. And Neptune flung down crossing the 20 by Justin Ross. And another flag comes out deep in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 90, hit to the head. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
As I was watching, I'm not so sure about this call. We're going to see the replay. There's a pump fake here, and yep, okay, there's contact to the helmet. So as a defender, you're not allowed to have contact to the helmet, head or neck area of a quarterback in a passing posture. That's roughing the passer, and also low contact is roughing as well. So you have to be better with your hands when you're on defense.
So I can't go high and I can't go low. Where can I hit him?
Midsection, baby, get in the middle.
First down after the penalty. Deep ball. Brown has his man far side. Keyshawn Singleton still on his feet and roped down at the 11. Well, the first big play for the Bulls in business in the red zone and a gain of 52.
This is where Navy struggled last week versus Notre Dame on big-time shots down the field. Keyshawn Singleton, he beats Justin Ross, so Justin Ross is out of position. The best thing Ross does is make the tackle to live and fight another down.
Bulls quickly at the line of scrimmage. Brown will audible. Move everybody around. On 1st and 10, Brown end zone with a rifle shot, incomplete. Spinning down was Koger. And Nick Bell in coverage. That's been an outstanding battle so far in this first quarter.
We heard from the offensive staff at South Florida. They said that they were going to challenge the defensive backs. Navy loves to put a lot of people up at the line of scrimmage. And so we've already seen 2 shots down the field so far. Expect more of that as this game goes on for South Florida. The DBs for Navy need to step up.
Brown keeps it, the hurdle, inside the 10, he'll make something out of nothing, right over the top, Marcus Blizzard.
We say video game type of numbers, but it's really video game type of moves. Watch his hurdle. It was triangle back when I used to play the game, and stays on his feet, has a chance to turn back around, but now, critical 3rd down. That tackle earlier gives Navy a chance to try to keep South Florida out of the end zone. If I'm South Florida, there's opportunities to throw the ball, but man, Byron Brown and his legs have to be activated down here.
Let's see if activation occurs. Bulls can get a first down without scoring. A touchdown. Brown retreats. Byron Brown takes off. Here he goes. Brown inside the 5. Hit hard at the 3. It'll be 4th down and short from there. Adam Klink prevented the first or the touchdown, and let's see what the Bulls decide to do.
Looks like they're keeping their offense on the field, and I love the decision. And now they're taking their offense off the field, and I don't like the decision. So now they're going to kick a field goal. The reason I think you want to try to score a touchdown here is because you're a physical bunch. You want to try and get in the end zone because your defense so far couldn't stop Navy. So they made a decision to try to take the points. I don't love it, so let's see how it plays out.
So on 4th and 3 from the 4, Alex Golish elects for the field goal. Here's Nico Grammatical, the 22-yard effort. And just like that, it's 7-3. Buckle up. 7-3 our score, 6:40 to go, and a fast-moving first quarter in Annapolis. Responds with a field goal after the 76-yard scoring burst by Alex Teska to start the party here in Annapolis on Senior Day. 6:40 to go in our first quarter. Adam Zuagi sends it deep into the end zone as we say good afternoon to Kevin Connors for the first time.
Good afternoon, Roy and Sam. It's time for our AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship. Trevor Maddich, Notre Dame, known for their explosive plays. Here's Jeremiah Lowe.
When will you learn as a safety not to try to get a big hit in the open field against this guy? He will always make you look silly.
And just seconds ago, Tay Johnson, a pick six for the Irish. Roy, already a 14-0 lead.
Kevin, Trevor, we cannot wait to see and find out more about what's happening at Acrisure Stadium there in the Steel City. Sam, for my money, Jeremiah Love should get the invitation to New York City. You tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right. I can't tell you I'm wrong on that one.
Maybe gets the football back, leading by 4. Alex Teska rumbles over the right side. Tavin Ward brings him down. This hybrid wing T offense, what is the beautiful creation, we should say, of Drew Cronick, who came to Annapolis from Mercer as the head coach in the FCS ranks. And we talked to him this week, Sam, and we asked him specifically about his quarterback, Blake Horvath. And he could barely keep a straight face, was emotional in thinking about what he's meant to this program, not only Blake, but his family. And he said, he's made me look like I know what I'm doing, because there were some questions before his arrival. What would this look like? How do you mesh concepts out of the pistol and the shotgun with the true triple option? He's done all of that, and it's because of the connection he has with Blake Horvath.
And if there's anyone who's perfectly suited to run this offense, it's Blake Horvath. He ran the triple option offense in middle school, ran the triple option offense in high school. Now this is a modified version of that offense. So the marriage between Horvath and Cronick has been excellent.
Not all marriages end well. This one certainly has. 17 wins, 4 losses as the starting quarterback at the Naval Academy. Horvath with his eyes on being a U.S. Navy pilot, and again, right up the gut into South Florida territory. Alex Teska is having himself quite a first quarter. He was tripped up by Rucker, and a big gain on third down again for the Mids. Left side to Brandon Chapman. And another quality pickup on first down after a gain of 22 by Teska.
You see how frustrating it can be for a defense, because you defended everything on the outside. Now they just run an inside handoff and they pull somebody on the inside, and now you're just running right directly down the teeth through the middle of a defense. And the very next play, they run a jet sweep to the outside. So as a defender, every single individual has to be not only in their gap, but make the tackle when they're there. That's why it's so challenging to stop these types of offenses.
Alex Teska has 4 carries and 104 yards. Now his high school teammate Eli Heidenreich on the screen picks up another first down. Well, Heidenreich and Teska both played in Pittsburgh at Mount Lebanon. Eli is viewed to be the NFL prospect. Alex said this week, wherever he signs, I'm going to end up there. I'm going to go with him whether that team likes it or not. Over the right edge. Tumbling down is Heidenreich on the ground. His versatility has been incredible, Taylor Davis.
And what's really interesting down here on the sideline, Roy, is the chemistry that these guys have. Keep in mind, Blake Horvath didn't play last week, sat out of the game against Notre Dame with an upper body injury. He, along with Heidenreich and Texa and Chapman, on the iPad together, at times not saying anything. I saw Horvath point to something. Alex Teska said, I know, I saw it. There's real chemistry, even unspoken, between these 4.
Yeah, you're trying to win a conference championship. That is one of the unwritten rules in doing so. Problem on the snap, and South Florida picks it up. And our first turnover, the Bulls have it. Mac Harris with the recovery, and the Bulls with their 20th takeaway of the season.
And it had to be Mac. It had to be Mac Harris. He's the leader of this defense. He loves to take the ball away. That's the one thing that can stop or slow down Navy. The ball on the ground. It's going to be a mishandled snap by Blake Horvath. He tries to go too quickly, and Mac Harris doesn't just fall on it. He scoops and gets a couple extra yards. We said the ball wasn't going to be in the air a whole lot, but we said to watch out if the ball's on the ground for Navy, because extra possessions for South Florida could spell problems for Navy in their pace of play.
Return of the MAC, just the 5th lost fumble by Navy this year. And you see the takeaways for the Bulls on defense. Over the right edge, Sam Franklin, his first touch. And Navy's done a great job with their perimeter tackling so far. It was Justin Ross that time.
But if I'm South Florida, I want to go back to what's worked. Some of those deep shots. There was that underthrow to Jeremiah Koger, but there's that deep ball down the right sideline that was effective. Make Navy cover the outside.
Screen pass Franklin with blockers, weaving his way across the 40. It'll be 3rd down from the 42-yard line, and about 3 yards to go. Philip Hamilton chopped him down quickly.
So this is when South Florida slows down just a little bit. They want to see where you're in on 3rd down because it's such a critical and crucial down.
Franklin motions out, empty backfield. Let's see if Brown wants to run it here.
He's trying to count the numbers. Do I do a quarterback draw? Do I throw it outside? The draw isn't looking great.
He was doing the same thing I was. There's the screen against the loaded box, and that was the right call. It's a 1st down at midfield. Keyshawn Singleton brought down by the sophomore linebacker Mark Anthony Parker.
This is the time where South Florida should take a shot down the field. You're running side to side as a defense. Get them going downfield.
On 1st down, again to the edge, and the perimeter toss complete into Navy territory at the 45 for Rubin. So Moody Rubin, his first catch, the Stanford transfer, originally from Kansas City, and a gain of 5. Boy, the pace. Incredible tempo by the Bulls again. Brown. Incomplete. Diving down was Koger. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Here's the negative about that pace. We're already in 3rd down. And so if you're South Florida, yeah, you got some positives, but you're already in a crucial and a critical 3rd down.
Movement. Thomas Schrader, his left guard spot, jumped a bit too quickly.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
We saw this on the first series. South Florida went so fast and they got stopped quickly and they punted. Then the second series, they got a chance to get down towards the end zone. This is a huge 3rd down for Navy because if Navy gets the ball back, all of a sudden you could see them running 5, 6, 7 minutes off of the clock.
You went 6-7 on 3rd down and 10. Second false start penalty against the Bulls so far today. Brown with time. Pocket collapses, and Brown going to be corralled way back at the 44. Mark Anthony Parker got there first in a race to the quarterback.
Mark Anthony Parker is another one of the leaders on this defense. You can see him get on the edge. He went on the edge early, right on the right side of your screen. And then he doesn't run past the quarterback. That's great awareness. People talk about quarterbacks having pocket presence. Well, as a defender, you have to know you can't run by the quarterback. You have to get back. You see everyone on the sideline rejoicing for another 3rd down stop.
And Sam, how about the response by the midshipman defense after the turnover? Fair catch made at the 11 after a punt of 43. Let's get you back to Kevin Connors in the studio.
And Roy, it's time for our Fresh Play presented by Subway. Texas A&M trying to get to 10-0 on the year. Lenoris Sellers and Vandravius Jacobs have other ideas.
Bad start for Texas A&M. You've got this touchdown, and then A&M can't run the ball. They've got negative 10 yards on the ground themselves.
10-3 Gamecocks lead. Roy over on ESPN.
You just never know what's going to happen when you get to this late point in the regular season. Gamecocks trying to stun the college football world. An early touchdown advantage. Mids get it back off the option the other way, and Horvath hit hard out of bounds. Don't forget, coming up at 3:30 Eastern on ABC, the all-new ESPN app. 4th-ranked Bama hosting number 11 Oklahoma. John Mateer, the rough and rugged SEC. Then in primetime tonight, Arch Manning, 10th-ranked Texas back in the mix. They'll square off against Gunnar Stockton. 5th-ranked UGA in the Classic City of Athens, Georgia. Big-time matchups. ABC, the place to be all afternoon and evening on this college football Saturday. Texas playing at Georgia. Horvath's going to try to float one long. One-handed grab, and there it is! Still on his feet is Eli Heidenreich. Tripped up at the 5. It'll be first and goal for the Mids.
So there's trust, and there's just, I'm just going to be him. Like, that's trust for Blake Horvath to throw that ball, but Eli Heidenreich said, no, I'm him. Give me one hand and give me about 50, 60 yards.
The high school teammates paying dividends to the edge. It's Brandon Chapman. And a trio of seniors making big plays in our first quarter in Annapolis on a Saturday. Sam, we've seen the longest rushing play of Navy this season in this first quarter, and now the longest passing play from 82 yards out moments ago.
You think they're going to run it, but then all of a sudden you get behind the defense and watch this one-handed grab. The vision, the precision, the confidence. I'm surprised he didn't get into the end zone with that. That's the challenge. So many challenges of not just a triple option, but this offense led by Drew Cronick. They'll run it. They'll spread you out, then they'll throw it downfield, and you have the accuracy and the confidence and the trust to be able to make a play like this.
High school teammates making big plays in our first quarter. Memories for a lifetime, and Brandon Chapman enters a jet.
We're back in Annapolis. USF trailing Navy 14-3. Alex Golish joins me now. Coach, Navy gained a little bit of momentum in that first quarter. What do you need to see from your team?
Yeah, defensively, it's the explosive play. It's the explosive play and then a little bit of tempo there. Got to reset. We've done a good job against the run. We got a third and long, hit a counter, and then the explosive pass here. We just got to settle in. We'll be okay. And then offensively, we're across the 50. Third down, we got to go execute. Just got to settle down, execute, play our game. We'll be all right.
I appreciate the talk.
Fair catch on the ensuing kickoff. Meanwhile, Brandon Chapman scores his first touchdown of the season on Senior Day. We talked to him 2 days ago, Sam, and he remembered the story of his recruitment. His only offer was to NAIA Werner. He decided not to go there when 3 days before National Signing Day, Brian Newberry moved in officially with the scholarship offer. And wouldn't you know it, on Senior Day, 4 years later, he scores his first touchdown of the season just moments ago.
Small but mighty, 5'9", 174. He means so much to this program, getting every ounce of his potential.
Big possession for the Bulls in playoff contention. And Isaac on the field, racing ahead towards the 30. That's going to be a gain of 5 on first down. Nick Bell brought him down to the turf. We did have some rain push through the area about an hour before kickoff. It has since subsided. A beautiful, crisp fall afternoon. And Isaac stymied at the line. It'll be 3rd and 5. Mark Anthony Parker met him there.
This Navy defense has been playing at a much better level than they had at least the last several weeks. You see Mark Anthony Parker making another second down stop. This is the third down that we've seen where it's 3rd and 5 or more. Advantage Navy in that position.
Just underway in our second quarter. Midshipmen still with a great chance to win the American Conference this year. South Florida, leading candidate out of the group of 5 to reach the college football playoff as it stands now. But work to do on the road on 3rd down. Mids are coming. Brown, slant, first down, Bulls, and a lot more. Into Navy territory goes Jaquan Smith, and finally brought down to the 27. Gain of 43 on 3rd down.
So those are the challenges that we've seen that Navy hasn't been able to really handle. The outside corners not being able to cover consistently. And there you see right there, Nick Bell getting beat on a slant route.
South Florida comes at you so quickly. Lightning speed right up the gut through the A-gap, and rumbling for another first down is Isaac. And the Bulls inside the red zone. In position once again. They settled for a field goal their last possession. Alvon Isaac remains the running back. The breather continues for Nakai Davenport. First down, Brown slings it, end zone, and a toe tap in that back corner. He did catch it, Keyshawn Singleton. And And a hop, skip, and a jump right in front of Justin Ross. It was bobbled, it felt like, for a moment, Sam. But he's able to get the feet down with possession.
The run game wasn't working, so you go to the outside. Keyshawn Singleton beats Justin Ross on a double move, and he's able to maintain control of the ball as Ross tries to snatch it out. Great concentration by Singleton and great play call by the South Florida offense.
And that ball did not move a single inch, including with just one paw on it. Bulls are going to go for 2. A conversion here makes it a field goal affair. Racing in motion is Neptune. Brown wants to throw it. Surveys. And it's high for Singleton. Five-point lead for Navy on senior days. We welcome you back to Peloton Statement Saturday, 12:53 remaining. Entertaining first half. Bulls finally reaching the end zone after Singleton's grab in impressive fashion. ESPN College Football presented by Tom. Singleton almost palmed the football like a basketball as he tumbled out of bounds. These USF receivers certainly pass the eye test, as does Byron Brown as a potential playoff team. They got to find a way out of Annapolis with a win today. It already has been a very eventful early window on this Saturday. Let's get you back to the studio. Kevin Connors in studio.
Roy, number 3 Texas A&M is down big after Dylan Stewart and Nick Barrett team up on Marcel Reed.
This was just a fantastic pass rush by Stewart. And then the scoop and score. This is how you beat a top 5 ranked team.
Barrett, the big man tutty at 17-3.
Feel like we've been waiting for Dylan Stewart to kind of take off at various points this year. It hasn't happened until now.
Well, plays like that are why people get so excited about him as an NFL potential star. He attacks the mesh point, forces the fumble, and then you see the scoop and score.
Gamecocks big winners against the Aggies last year. A different story on the road, trying to do similar things, we should say. Out of bounds goes Brandon Chapman on the swing pass. Well, the Aggies playing with house money at this point, given the fact that they are undefeated, ranked in the top 3 by the committee, and arguably the most impressive win this season on the road at Notre Dame way back in week 2 on 4th and goal from the 11. And from South Carolina and Shane Beamer trying to spring that upset. 2nd down and 8 here. It's fun to look at all of these games with playoff impacts, including this one today. As Horvath twist his way for a gain of maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Say house money for A&M, but man, they got Texas at the end of the year as well. You start racking up those losses late, it may not look good for your playoff chances. Every game matters, no matter what team you are in college football.
Hush over Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium for a moment on 3rd and 8. It's perfect in that department so far today. Getting a long touchdown run by Alex Teska. Motions around Horvath. Hard collision at the 30 and stopped about 5 yards shy the line to gain. It'll be 4th down for Brian Newberry's team, and the Mids are going to have to punt after the tackle by Schuler.
I love that play by Jalen Schuler. 6'3", about 230, linebacker, physical presence on the inside. He's not a big talker, but he's one of the stalwarts of this defense, 6-year senior.
Were you a big talker back in the day at Texas?
I wasn't a big talker, man. I wanted my play to do the talking. But if you started talking to me, I'm going to say a little something back to you.
You're a big talker now, right?
This is facts. This is true.
That's why we love Sam Acho. Christian Neptune back deep to receive this punt. Tried the over-the-shoulder catch and wisely got away from it. And now Navy with the outstanding punt of 66 yards. Bulls will get it back, trailing by 5 after this.
ESPN College Football, presented by Tums, is brought to you by Peloton.
We're back in Annapolis on Navy Senior Day, and for this senior class, the chemistry has obviously gone beyond the field. Back in May, the class took a trip to Quantico, Virginia, a mandatory accession program for those who plan to become Marine officers. Blake Horvath told us they participated in different drills, different challenges. He said it was incredibly eye-opening to see the leadership roles some of these guys will go on to have. True leadership embodied, and it's exactly what this class has brought into this season.
And Taylor, the seniors getting ready to find out what's in store for them once they graduate and what their responsibilities will be. That happens coming up on the following Thursday as South Florida gets the football back after the career-long punt by Jacob Carlson of 66 yards moments ago for the midshipmen.
False start. Offense number 51. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Zane Herring, Florida State transfer. And now 3 false start penalties against the Bulls offensive line. Mids, you look back over the course of their career, that win against Army last season, winning the CIC trophy, certainly one of the highlights. Blake Horvath, 17 wins and just 4 losses as a starting quarterback. Another. Their win against Oklahoma in the bowl game last year, very big deal. And the race straight ahead through the A-gap. Back to the line of scrimmage for Nakai Davenport. Jackson Campbell attack. What a 1-yard gain.
It was so cool for me, even just seeing the seniors come out with their families and having the PA announcer announce every single family member who joined those seniors. We talk about the Naval Academy, but it's really a leadership institute. These guys are going to go on and lead, not just on the field, but off the field. It's a really cool atmosphere.
Now, the Leadership Institute, something Eli Heidenreich talked about with us earlier in the season. That's exactly the Naval Academy produces. Davenport again, Coleman Colley. It'll be 3rd down and long after a gain of 3.
Heard from Alex Golish the importance of 3rd down. South Florida struggled on 3rd down. Navy's done a really good job defensively of getting off the field.
Bulls need 7 to start this drive. Deep, thrown into the field. Byron Brown, is it time for him to make another big play? Senior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. He's got about 140 friends and family in the house today for this game. He'll cut it back against the grain. Off to Hezzy. Barrels his way to the 10, and that's it. It'll be 4th down. Luke Pierce met him with authority and a gain of 4 on 3rd and 7, and that's it.
I love Pierce, first of all, but there's pressure by Joe B. Grant. But Pierce on the back end, he stays in his gap. He's a curl flat player. He doesn't get fooled by the pump fake, and he knows that Byron Brown is going to try to lower his shoulder and run him over. Pierce doesn't get intimidated by it. So outstanding play by being patient on the backside by Luke Pierce.
3-and-out force by the Navy defense. That was 232 versus 217. Brown with the advantage as the punt bounces out in Navy territory. Check that in USF territory. And talk about field position for the midshipmen. A punt of just 34 yards, and if you're just tuning in, it has been big play galore so far, beginning with Alex Teska from 76.
Well, there's been almost 420 yards of total offense. You see Alex Teska with a big-time run. Then you see Eli Heidenreich with the one-handed catch. He's a sniper, so he can run it, he can receive it, nearly gets to the end zone, and then Brandon Chapman, another senior on senior day, scores the touchdown.
And that is his 3rd touchdown of this season. By the way, that 82-yard touchdown reception, rather the grab by Heidenreich, longest Navy pass play in 15 years. And then Blake Horvath around the right edge. He'll pick up 21 more.
See, this is the first time we've actually really called Blake Horvath's name as a runner, and we're almost midway through the 2nd quarter. That's the problem of this offense. They can beat you in a myriad of ways. So it might be Chapman, it might be Teska. Then it's Horvath.
Horvath with the veer, Heidenreich with the handoff, little jet sweep action, ushered out of bounds near another 1st down. Jalen Schuler sent him that direction. It's enough to move the chains, an 11-yard gain for Heidenreich.
And if I'm South Florida defensively, I'm just thinking, okay, let's just keep everything in front of us. If I'm whether it's Jalen Schuler or Mac Harris, those defensive leaders, I'm saying, everybody calm down. It's a 5-point game. They beat us with the best they got. Let's just stay in our gaps. That has to be the response for South Florida. Don't get deceived by all the eye candy.
Mitch will take their time. 1st and 10. Leading by 5. Movement. Back them up 5.
False start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
The other challenge, Roy, with the triple option offense is, as a defender, you have to do your job. And so you have to, like, let's say you're an inside linebacker, you're a dive player. You can't go out and play the option. You have to trust that the safety is going to be able to be a quarterback player. Let's say you're a safety and you're the quarterback player. You have to trust that the corner is going to be the nickel player. So everyone's almost left on an island. And so if one guy's wrong, they lose.
Tough spot to be in. Teska with the legs churning. Inside the 15, Tavin Ward with a tackle. It's a 3-yard pickup.
That's different than most offenses, because as a defender, if it's, let's say a team runs a lot of power, well, a couple guys can try to stop the power. Let's say they run a lot of stretch or outside zone. You have a couple guys that can stop the outside zone, but this offense challenges every single individual on the defense.
2nd down and 12 after the infraction. A run by Teska. Navy with a 5-point lead. Midshipmen can get to the American Conference Championship game with a couple of more wins, including today. Horvath, jump ball. There it is for another touchdown. Tumbling down in the end zone. Alex Teska. On the ground, through the air. It does not matter for this offense today.
All we're missing is through the sea. On the ground, through the air, through the sea. Tavin Ward, the safety, gets lost on this play. Alex Teska is a running back, so he's in the backfield. Well, Tavin Ward has been playing the run. It's been 17-4, run to pass, and now all of a sudden there's a passing play. Bad eyes by the defense.
Hoke Smith, the injured midshipman, starting right guard, the junior out of Birmingham. His mom was in the Navy. There was a great piece that ran this past weekend with Sal Palantonio talking about his opportunities to play at a multitude of schools. He wanted to come here to Annapolis, and requiring assistance at the 20-yard line after the touchdown grab by Alex Teska. 6 touches today, Sam, 120 yards. Most importantly, 2 touchdowns. The senior from Pittsburgh.
You see Hoke Smith. I love the point you made about his mom being in the Naval Academy. And going back to this play, everything you think is going to be a run, but Tavin Ward, number 2, the safety, he has to motion with Teska, and then when that motion happens, his eyes are in the backfield. So they beat you on the ground, they beat you through the air, and as we're missing, they just got to beat you through the sea, and that's all you need.
All set up with the short field after the Navy defense forced the 3 and out. Nathan Kirkwood perfect on his PAT tries this year. Remember, that came after the 66-yard punt by the sophomore Jacob Carlson. A career best, all to put the mids in position.
Defense leads to offense. The big-time stop leads to good field position, leads to touchdown by the senior, Alex Teska.
Lead is 12 for the midshipmen. 7 minutes to go in our first half here in Annapolis. There's a look at the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? Senior day, Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Great crowd. A little rain before kickoff is not to deter the excitement of today and what it is all about. Bulls will get it back. Very important possession considering Navy gets the football to begin our third quarter. After the fair catch, we send you back to Kevin Connors.
Roy, might today be upset Saturday. Number 2 Indiana leading Wisconsin till Carter Smith finds Lance Mason.
Busted coverage, and on the other side, look at the score. Indiana only 7 points, almost halftime. Wisconsin is limiting their big plays.
The 3-6 Badgers, Roy, tied with the Hoosiers.
Vote of confidence as well for Luke Fickell, who we know will be the head coach at Camp Randall next year. That news coming out here within the last week or so. And playing inspired football as a result. Bulls get it back. Deep handoff, Sam Franklin. And upended short of the 30, a gain of 3 on first down.
And I understand, Roy, the idea of running to set up the pass, but Navy's weakness is on the outside of the corners. I think you should continue to challenge them outside and throw the ball deep.
Bulls just 3.5 yards per rush up to this point. Navy with a pair of sophomore corners getting the bulk of the action. That pass was a wobbler and it's going to be picked off. Mids have it. Philip Hamilton back into the red zone, and the midshipman in business, forcing the turnover on the errant throw from Byron Brown.
So you see pressure in the face of Byron Brown, and he's not going to be able to step into this throw. He's going to throw the ball off of his back foot because of the pressure by Landon Robinson, number 96. And then you see Philip Hamilton get the interception. Landon Robinson is a defensive stud. He's an NFL prospect. He beats the inside guard, and that pressure causes Byron Brown, the quarterback, not to be able to step into his throw, and Philip Hamilton to give Navy great field position.
Second pick of the season for Hamilton. Costly turnover for the Bulls. Blake Horvath. Hard collision. Tavin Ward at the 15. Gain of maybe a half yard on first.
People talk, Roy, about the front, the coverage working together. That play was made not by Philip Hamilton. It started with Landon Robinson on the inside, winning to help his offense, or help his guy on the back end. Same thing has to happen for South Florida. Everyone has to do their job. The front has to trust the coverage. The coverage has to do their job and trust the front to stop the run.
Jumbo set for the Mids. On the move after the turnover. Horvath keeps it, wants to throw it, does. Front pylon incomplete. Here comes a flag. Now Teska was trying to break free. Coverage by Rico Watson III.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense. The penalty is declined. It's third down.
The Bulls would love to force a field goal attempt from Nathan Kirkwood here. Third down and long coming up.
The foul was on
Already
number 50.
trailing by 12. Must-win scenario, both in the race for the college football playoff and the American Conference Championship. Teska, the running back. Horvath to the air. Buys some time. There's a flag. And Horvath delivers. Pass is going to be caught on the slide. Inbounds. It'll be first and goal pending the penalty.
That was the first time that on a third and long we've seen a pass play. Usually Navy it's been run.
Personal foul. Chop block. Offense number 66 and 69. It's a 15-yard penalty. Still third down.
So Cam Nichols and Jalen Acevedo, who's now the starting right guard after he's moved around with Hoke Smith out.
So you're not allowed to be engaged with someone as an offensive lineman and then another offensive lineman get them low. That's the chop block. If somebody's high and somebody's low, that's what we saw. Part of that happens because of the changes in positions. You're not used to playing next to somebody else.
That negates a completion to a wide receiver, something we haven't seen in the last month of Navy football. Brian Newberry told us that was certainly going to change today. Horvath steps up, now beyond the line of scrimmage, slides down. Well, the Mids in field goal range. Kirkwood does have a 48-yard field goal made earlier this season at Temple. And he trots back out on the field here for a long attempt again.
They did make that field goal a whole lot more difficult, though. They're right around their own 10-yard line. Now they got backed up about 15 to 20 yards.
7 of 8 on the season. This attempt from 44 on 4th and 21. From the right hash, Kirkwood tries to curl it in that upright, and he does just inside. Now 8 of 9, and Nathan Kirkwood, another shot of confidence for this Navy offense. Still a 2-score game at 24-9.
Started going backwards just a little bit, but still able to get that field goal through by Nathan Kirkwood. And now comes the interesting part of the game, because Navy did get a chance to score, but South Florida has a chance to get points before halftime. They could try to get some momentum going into halftime, which they haven't gotten so far this game.
Gives us a great chance to remind you All-State has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to All-State. Is it cold here today for you?
It is. I was just thinking about that. My toes feeling cold. My hands are cold.
There's like a breeze that came through our broadcast position here, and it felt chilly for the first time.
Well, Taylor's down on the field.
I was about to say, I don't want to hear it from either of you, all right?
She's braving the rain, the elements, the wind. We are nice and protected. But we feel it, Taylor. Four and a half minutes to go. Here in the first half, the fair catch. Bulls will have it at the 25. Now, don't forget the 15th annual State Farm Champions Classic. Tuesday night is back at MSG. Number 17 Michigan State squares off against 9th-ranked Kentucky. It's game 1 at 6:30 Eastern over on ESPN. Then we'll have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings, and the nightcap at 9 Eastern. Darren Peterson, who's questionable, top 25 KU, taking on Cameron Boozer. 4th-ranked Duke. College basketball is back, believe it or not. Now Byron Brown on the field. He returns as well. After throwing that interception moments ago, Brown escapes to the 29. Bulls need to win today to keep their path to the CFP. With a victory, basically a 50% opportunity to reach the college football playoff. Again, with a win in this game, that puts them in position, Sam, to reach the American Conference Championship, given their final 2 contests against UAB and Rice, in which they will be heavy favorites. This is the last stiff test before we get to early December. Alon Isaac across the 40. Methodical approach for USF here. The tackle by Collin.
One of the questions that you have is, after your quarterback throws an interception, how do they respond? We heard from the coaching staff weeks ago that Byron Brown goes to the next play. That's what we're seeing so far. Defensively, you want to stay in their head. You say, hey, man, he gave it to us once. He'll give it to us again. We just got to keep on getting pressure on him.
2nd down and 6. Alex Golish, the great quote along those lines. He said, it's amazing how quickly Byron Brown gets back to neutral, no matter what happens. On 2nd down, he's hoping to pick up a first, and he does. Just shy of midfield. Tough collision. Brown down for a moment. And that'll move the chains.
That going back to neutral is extremely important, especially with the football player. You think it's all physical, and yes, you can be 6'3", 230, but a lot of it is mental. Love a decision by Byron Brown to try and get yards. See that collision late towards the end of the play. Byron Brown's a little bit slow to get up.
Navy player down, requiring assistance. And Kendall Whiteside. It has been a physical start today. We have seen Navy outstanding with their form tackling approach, including on the perimeter, but inside, Sam, there's a lot of beef down on this playing surface.
There is. And I was chatting with Eric Lewis, who's a safeties coach for Navy, and he said, the South Florida, they're a good team, but they want to play basketball out here. We have to be physical with them. We have to take it to them. And that's what we're seeing. And as much as you might think basketball for South Florida, no, they also are a physical team as well. Both teams have an element of physicality to them, specifically at the lines of scrimmage.
Alex Golish, we asked him this week, has anybody on your team ever approach you in the halls at the facility, say, Coach, are you going to be here next year? And he said, you know what, Roy? No, it's never happened. I said, why is that? And he said, if you ask one of our players, where are you? Their answer automatically defaults to right here, right now. That's all we think about. Up the middle. And Isaac will be stopped by Jackson Campbell. It's a fascinating response for a coach that has been rumored to be in the mix at a number of Power 4 openings. Byron Brown, play action. He kind of held off a blocker to his left, and Isaac down to the 40 should be enough to keep the drive alive, and it is.
Yeah, he's found a way to turn this program around after struggling in 2022 and 2023. They had a winning season. 24 had a winning season. Now all of a sudden, they're knocking on the door of a college football playoff opportunity.
They have to win this game today to get there. Isaac inside zone. Chop down crossing the 40. Did the ball come out late? Philip Hamilton stuck his nose in there. Let's see. Hamilton had the interception moments ago. Mids think they have it.
A lot goes on at the bottom of those piles.
Ruling on the field, Cordo recovered the fumble. That's the timeout.
Wyatt Sullivan able to make sure the Bulls recovered. Could have been down before the ball was able to be jarred loose. And Hamilton remains down on the turf for Navy. And the ground causing that fumble as Isaac picks up a couple. 2-minute timeout.
Kevin Connors in studio. Coming up on the Voya halftime report. Much more on a possible shake-up Saturday with both Indiana and Texas A&M in trouble. Plus Notre Dame trying to make it 8 in a row. And a huge Friday night in college football. Roy, the moment you need to see when you join us at the half.
The art of the tease executed perfectly by one Kevin Connors. We go from a statement Saturday to a shake-up Saturday potentially as we are back in Annapolis. South Florida has lost 43 straight games when trailing by 15 or more. That's exactly the number the Bulls trail after the 2-minute timeout on the road. Byron Brown calls his own number. And across the 35 on second down. Luke Pierce, Mark Anthony Parker combined to make the stop after a gain of 4, third and short. And the Mids call the timeout.
And it is a 15-point game, but that lead can be erased quickly, not just by the speed of the South Florida offense, but by the explosiveness of this offense. They can throw the ball down the field, whether it's to Jeremiah Coger, one of their outstanding freshmen, or Neptune, one of their outstanding freshmen. They can get the ball down the field quickly, and Navy has shown that they struggle to defend the pass.
Let's take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Goodyear. Bulls in the top 25 and a look at the top 12 as released last Tuesday. And current set of circumstances, the big surprise in College Station.
Oh yeah, Lenore Sellers is looking good so far in that game, but A&M, third down, they've been good on defense. Let's see what they do in their matchup.
Indiana being tested as well against Wisconsin on 3rd down and 4. Empty backfield for Brown. Leading candidates for American Conference Player of the Year. Sidearm delivery off the screen. Needed 4. Diving ahead is Coger. And he was stopped by Griffin Willis. Let's see where the spot is. And I think he's going to be spotted about a half-yard shy. On 4th down, the Bulls will go for it. Mark Larson, our replay official, on site in Annapolis today, all in collaboration with the command center to see what that spot should be. And Sam, it looked close from our perspective, and it was marked as such.
Start with the tackle. First of all, it was a great tackle, and then Coger, it's that left knee. Was that left knee down before the ball was extended? So you see him right there. Griffin Willis on the inside making that tackle from the defensive tackle position.
Indisputable video evidence, I should say, needed. That knee comes down right as he approaches the line to gain. That angle may be our best look. Is that enough to overturn the call on the field?
See, I like this angle right here. You'll see that left knee, and it seems like it's still just a bit short of that 30-yard line. It's a great spot by that side judge. And I also want to point out Navy didn't use a timeout as well. So it's almost like that no man's land of, okay, South Florida was hurrying up to try and get there, and you see Willis from the inside. To me, that looks like it's short. But I wonder if South Florida's going to try to hurry up and get it, or maybe run some clock down just in case they don't.
It's short of the first down. It will be fourth down.
Ruling on the field upheld. Good looks by our crew here today in Annapolis. It'll be 4th and inches.
From South Florida, I want to let that clock run just a little bit. You're not in any type of rush. You have 2 timeouts. You have all 3 timeouts. You're close enough to the red zone.
Jack Wiltie checks in as an extra offensive lineman. On 4th down, get low. Handoff straight ahead, and I don't think so. Navy gets the stop into a sea of humanity, and the Mids were there, ready and waiting. And a flag comes in after the change of possession.
Ruling on the field is the runner was short of the line to gain. So it is a turnover on downs. First down, Navy. Sideline warning, Navy. There is no yardage.
Sam, Cole Skinner was the offensive lineman that had the pigskin in his mitts.
And he's 6'5", 325, but the inside guys, Griffin Willis and Landon Robinson, they actually don't care. That play looks like it's made by some of the linebackers, but you're going to notice when we watch it again, watch Landon Robinson and Griffin Willis on the inside just dive down to keep everyone else from getting over them. And so Mark Anthony Parker, number 56, and Coleman Colley, number 58, the linebackers, they're able to get over top, and Kenny McShann as well, number 0, get over top and make that stop, led by the guys on the inside.
The Mids get the stop. They'll get the football to start our 3rd quarter. Horvath jumps over the line of scrimmage. Fred Gaskin stopped him after a gain of 1.
And that was the reason why I said maybe just run some of that clock off just a little bit more. In case you don't get it, you leave less time for Navy. But now Navy, they have 2 timeouts. They have more time than they would have had if not for those few seconds that could have been run off the clock.
Ryan Newberry leading by 15. I wonder how aggressive do you want to be with his offensive play caller, Drew Cronick, at the end of this quarter. Horvath looks like he's going to throw it, and he does. And the pass is caught. It's a first down for the Mids. Eli Heinreich. Gain of 16.
Yeah, the challenge about this offense is that they shift and they motion and they make everyone change their assignments depending on what the alignment is. Eli Heidenreich again runs a corner route and he beats Tavin Ward, number 2.
Heidenreich over 100 yards receiving. On the slant, incomplete. It came in low, looking for Heidenreich again. For the 5th time today, he's been targeted. 2nd down and 10.
Navy shouldn't be afraid to run the ball in this situation. I understand there's just 30 seconds, but they have 2 timeouts and running is their strength. They don't want to get into a drop back passing game. That's not where they want to live, nor where they have lived. South Florida, on the other hand, critical to stay on your man. Keep your eyes on your guys.
Do your assignment. Don't try to do somebody else's job against this hybrid wing T. Mids need about 21, maybe 22 more yards to get in field goal range for Kirkwood. Horvath buys some time, escapes the pressure, races out of bounds near the 49.
I love what you said, Roy. We're not thinking touchdown. You're not thinking touchdown if you're Navy. You're thinking, how do I get 20 yards, 25 yards to make the field goal for Kirkwood just a little bit easier? Same thing for South Florida. They're not defending the end zone. They're defending about the 35 or so yard line in a situation like this.
Yeah, Kirkwood, we mentioned earlier, has the 48-yarder this year at Temple. And you see where that career-long field goal line is marked. Right at the 31. Against the zone, Horvath going to be corralled and driven down back at the 40. Full head of steam, Selisgar and Mitchell.
You see number 63, defensive tackle Joshua Selisgar, the transfer from Texas A&M, in the backfield. That's the first time we're hearing some of the defensive linemen make plays as well. Then Trayvon Mitchell, number 8, the transfer from West Florida. He's from about 40 minutes from here, Forestville, Maryland, so somewhat of a hometown kid playing in front of his family and friends. But that's what's going to have to happen more. The defensive line is going to have to shut down everything if South Florida wants to get back in this game. They have to shut it down, and then the safeties have to just trust the guys up front to do their jobs.
Really the top 5 defensive linemen for Todd Orlando's group, defensive play caller for South Florida, all transferring in, acquisitions out of the portal over the course of the last 2 seasons. And after the timeout by the Bulls, we'll get it back and a fair catch at the 21. UFC 322 is tonight at Madison Square Garden, highlighted by 2 title fights. The welterweight and women's flyweight belts are on the line. Prelims begin at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. The main card at 10 Eastern tonight on pay-per-view. Buy it right now at ESPNplus.com/PPV. And a fight of sorts underway in Annapolis. Bulls and their playoff hopes on the line here at the end of the half. Midshipmen after a 28-7 win in Tampa last year against USF. Continuing that trend some 365 days later. Brown heaves it and dropped. Keyshawn Singleton almost fought the football as it came in traffic, and Cam Robinson was right there in the line of sight.
Great play by Cam Robinson, being patient in his back pedal. There were 3 safeties deep, nothing going to go over the top. Cam Robinson is patient enough to try and knock that ball out and not get a pass interference call. Singleton wants to try to keep that ball, but better play by the defense.
Sam, this Navy secondary has been outstanding to start. In traffic again, and Koger upended hard. Near the line to gain. 1 second remaining in the half. And the Bulls use a timeout.
The result of the play is a first down. Timeout in the field, South Florida. Please reset the game clock to 2 seconds. Thank you.
Roy, you mentioned this Navy secondary, and it's a group that this coaching staff directly challenged over the course of the past few weeks. Brian Newberry straight up said, we have to have better play from our cornerbacks, and they knew this was going to be a challenge with USF having such a loaded wide receiver room. They love to distribute to all of those guys, and down here on the sideline, this Navy defense is probably the most excited and confident that I have seen them play this season.
PJ Volker told us too, even in the loss at Notre Dame, he felt like his young corners grew up a little bit and made some strides. They're going to double check and make sure the timing is right on that last first down completion.
I love the point you made about growing up, because it was somewhat embarrassing as a defender to give up big play after big play after big play. But as a young defender, you can learn from those moments and show them on the field.
They added 1 second back here at the end of the half. Brown does have a strong arm and will throw it and a laser beam out of bounds. Now the 2 teams combined for 542 yards of total offense. Advantage Navy with their big plays, Sam. Impressive in every sense of the word.
Their offense has had big play after big play after big play, but their defense, Roy, has stood out to me more. They've been outstanding in coverage and really good at the line of scrimmage.
24-9 our score at halftime. Let's send you to the Voya halftime report right now with Kevin Connors and Trevor Matich.
You're watching Peloton Statement Saturday.
24-9 our score as we get you set, ready to go in Annapolis on Senior Day. Beginning of our second half, our third quarter. Let's check out today's first half stats brought to you by Tums and a trio of seniors, not to mention Brandon Chapman getting the job done early.
And they've been nearly unstoppable on the ground and through the air. Running back Alex Teska has made a big impact, as has Snipe Eli Heidenreich. These are our impact players to start the game, and the reason why is that they challenge you in so many different ways. Teska has the patience, the vision, the speed to finish in the end zone. Then Heidenreich with the one-handed grab to nearly get a touchdown. Brandon Chapman finishes that one off, and then Teska again through the air. Blake Horvath has been a part of all of these plays, and he's the engine that makes everything go.
Alex Teska, Eli Heidenreich, that one-handed grab, the longest pass play for Navy in 15 years, covering 82 yards, and the midshipmen set to receive the football to begin this second half. Their conference championship dreams on the line. South Florida with an opportunity to crash the CFP. Bulls need to run the table from here on out to get there and to have their chance at postseason glory. Over the head, 3 yards deep in the end zone for the touchback. Midshipmen will get it at the 25-yard line. ESPN College Football is presented by Tums, which turned out to be a spectacular fall Saturday in Annapolis. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis joining you once again. Exciting start here. Bulls have some work to do, and it's going to start on defense.
It is. They have to be able to slow down Navy's offense. But Navy on the defense side of the ball, they've done a great job of running to the football, limiting explosives. So all that has to flip. South Florida needs more explosive plays, and then they need to slow down Navy's explosive offense.
It's been a crazy start in this early window, given what's happening in College Station, Texas. The Gamecocks have a 27-point lead at halftime against undefeated Texas A&M. And here, you know, there's a lot of folks rooting against South Florida. Earlier, Taylor Davis caught up with Brian Newberry.
Well, Coach, just 9 points for South Florida's high-flying offense. How did your defense make an impact first half?
I think they've been excellent in the first half. We've got some critical stops and some critical situations. Got the ball back to our offense. They played 9 possessions. Really proud of the way we played against a really, really good offense. So this is a team I've been waiting to see play all year. We just got to keep fighting our tails off in the second half, and can't be satisfied with what we did, obviously, and we got to take advantage of this first possession coming out.
3rd down and 6 coming up. And the Bulls trying to get a quick 3 and out. And Brian Newberry, he told us this week, and we haven't really put it together the way that we thought that we could at any point this season, even at 7-2. Back-to-back losses on the road in South Bend, Indiana a week ago, and then in Denton, Texas against North Texas 2 weeks back. You win this game, then you go into an open date before a road trip to Memphis with a chance to clinch a spot in the American Championship right after Thanksgiving. Handoff on 3rd down and long, and spun down, quickly corralled was Alex Teska by Mac Harris.
That's the exact start that you want to have if you're South Florida. You go to halftime after a half like that and say, guys, slow down, calm down, and then step up. Mac Harris and Jalen Schuler, the leaders. We saw Schuler with the tackle earlier. The defensive line allows Mac Harris to flow over top and make that tackle. So this one, your South Florida, is the time where your defense said, hey, we did our job. Now special teams and offense needs to do theirs.
Just the second 3-and-out force by the Bulls today, as Jacob Carlson sends it to Christian Neptune. No fair catch. Waiting for the convoy. He'll get what he can. Bulls with decent field position after the 3-and-out. Well, an uneven start for Byron Brown. He did have that one interception in the second quarter. And then Navy was able to get the stop on 4th and inches and the handoff to the offensive lineman, but his numbers kind of what you would expect. But a game of this magnitude, it's going to have to be a little bit better here to begin the third.
They got to get back to what they've been all season. They're number 3 in points responsible for, number 4 in total offense. This is Byron Brown specifically. He's top 25 in both passing and rushing touchdowns, yet we haven't seen it so far. I believe that they need to take more attempts down the field at the receivers to attack the secondary, and I think the pass could open up the run.
His offensive coordinator, Joel Gordon, said, you are as good as your eyes this week, given what Navy likes to do defensively. It's been unsettling at times, but Brown wants to throw it. Off the pump fake. Here's where he can be so electric. Deep ball. Pass is caught, and it was inbounds. On the move was Koger. And a big play to begin the third quarter for the Bulls offense. That's 36.
You talk about the second play. The broken play means the first read wasn't there. Well, the second read wasn't there. This is like the third play. First is there, second, the third, you find freshman Jeremiah Coger on the sideline.
And that rare explosive play the Bulls have been in search of. Off the quick hitch, Moody Rubin get what he can across the 30. And a 7-yard gain on first down.
See the transfer from Stanford, Moody Rubin making a play, stepping up. Jeremiah Coger stepping up. Some of these young players stepping up. This is what you need for South Florida.
Bulls hope this is a game, a tale of two halves. Brown straight up the gut. Byron Brown still on his feet. It'll be first and goal for South Florida.
He saw that fake. We've seen that screenplay, but what Byron Brown did, that little pump fake, opened up everything on the inside. This is the rhythm that you need.
The wide formation helps spring Brown for a big gain. Brown with a keeper. Brown with a touchdown, and there it is. Now you go back to Thursday at Old Dominion. Colton Joseph became the first FBS quarterback with 20 touchdown passes, 10 TD runs, and now Byron Brown joins him in that capacity. And more importantly, an extra point away from this becoming a one-score affair. Boy, the dual threat can beat you in so many different ways. And Sam, just like that, it is 24-16.
And this is how you set up plays from one thing to another. First, you got that pass. That pump fake shows you the ability to get into the end zone. And then all of a sudden, Byron Brown just does what he does the best. Keep the ball, lower his shoulder, find the end zone for a touchdown.
Officially on back in Annapolis, and a one-score game, the $1 million smile of one Byron Brown. Now 6 consecutive games, Sam, with a passing and a rushing touchdown as he approaches exclusive company, I should say, potentially 3,000 yards through the air, 1,000 on the ground in his senior season in Tampa. Midshipman set to get the football back. An 8-point lead. Isaiah Bryant hit hard and driven down to the 17. Now the Bulls with momentum to start this second half. USF in search of a win today. And you look at the chances to reach the CFP, the All-State Playoff Predictor. 38% chance. That leads the group of 5 as it stands before kick today. JMU, North Texas, and Tulane also knocking on the door. And I mentioned it earlier, you have to believe that those other teams in contention rooting for the Naval Academy today to help improve their stock and their chances in regards to the CFP. And a win today by South Florida, 46% chance. This veteran officiating crew reviewing that kick return for potential targeting.
It's number 54 linebacker Amer for South Florida. The option for targeting is this. It has to be with the crown of the helmet because the runner is not defenseless. So what they're looking for is this number 54 for South Florida. Lower his helmet and lead with the crown and make forcible contact. Doesn't have to just be to the head or neck. If you have targeting with the crown of the helmet, it can be to any part of the body. And so what I see, what they're looking for is, does he lower his helmet?
After review, there is no foul for targeting on the play. It's first and 10.
And make that forcible contact. And they did not see that on that play.
A quick review. This veteran crew, the replay official, Mark Larson, also in conjunction, the command center for the American. And on first down, Blake Horvath under center once again. On the option, into the boundary, and corralled quickly. Fred Gaskin read that play on the veer. It'll be second down.
A beautiful read by the safety, Fred Gaskin, who's lined up out wide. He's a sophomore, former quarterback, also plays safety. He didn't hesitate at all. The inside guys did their job. The middle guys did their job, and all of a sudden, Gaskin's there to do his job as well. Excellent play by the entire defense for South Florida.
Second down and 8. Chapman picked up 2, and that's it. 12 to go in the third. Chapman went in motion. He'll try to lead block for Horvath, and nothing doing. Horvath to the 20. Gain of a half-yard, Taylor.
Sam, you love to talk about demeanor on the sidelines. This is a completely different team that came out of the locker room at halftime. USF is fired up down here. Byron Brown running up and down, hyping guys up. You can hear the crowd getting going. Completely different. You wonder if Golish fires up his guys. This is proof.
Now you have to think the message at halftime was significant given the stakes and what South Florida is playing for in Annapolis today. 3rd and 7. Horvath wants to throw it. Nearly got tripped up on the drop back. Pass is caught. That's a first down. Now the completion to Garrett, the wide receiver. First time we've seen that in a month. And it's a big play on 3rd and long.
Well, the last 4 games, Navy hasn't completed a pass to a wide receiver. And so if you're South Florida, you're thinking, okay, maybe I don't have to worry about it. But Garrett does a great job coming back to the football and making himself a big target for his quarterback, Blake Horvath.
Just his 3rd catch of the season. Midshipman with 7 consecutive wins to start this year. 2 straight losses since. Horvath, the keeper, hops over the line of scrimmage, dives ahead towards the 42.
If you're Navy, that first down was critical because what you want to do is you want to try and take as much time off of the clock as possible. You are the best, or one of the best, when it comes to time of possession. There have been a lot of passing plays for Navy, those causing completions and the clock to stop. But that last pass that led to the first down needs to allow Navy to slow back down to take as much time off the game as possible.
On 2nd down, Horvath kept it. Horvath was tackled on the shoe tops. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Are going to be on the interior defensive line of South Florida. 3rd and 1. You could easily go quarterback dive. You could pass if you want to. I don't think they should pass here. But South Florida has an opportunity to try and shut everything down and potentially force a punt. See the condensed splits. Everyone's in tight for Navy.
3rd down. They'll shove Horvath across the line to gain. That's enough for the first. No, the midshipmen on the move. Back-to-back 3rd down conversions. And time ticking away on what the midshipmen hope. A long scoring drive.
Yeah, they love 3rd and 1. Like most teams are like, okay, maybe they want to be in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, right, 2nd and 6, because every 3 or 4 yards they gain equal another 40 seconds, another 40 seconds, another 40 seconds. That plays right into their hand for Navy and this triple option offense.
Jet sweep, and now a throw. Heidenreich sends it. Leaping attempt by Nathan Kent. And it's incomplete.
You would have loved to see Nathan Kent come down with that ball because Heidenreich had a lot of courage. Eli Heidenreich's a snipe. He's not a quarterback, but he had a lot of courage to be able to throw that ball with pressure in his face, and it bounces right off the hands of Nathan Kent. Number 11, DJ Harris, has the pressure. He's not fooled. It's a clean hit. But you want to come down with that if you're Navy.
Nathan Kent, the speedster, world-class track speed, 400 meters. The fastest players on the field today. Inside give to Teska. Denard Flowers tackled him near the 49. It'll be 3rd down.
We've seen on a few 3rd and longs in the first half, Navy stuck with the run. So if you're South Florida, you cannot get complacent. I think this is automatic pass. The run is still an option for Navy. So it means that everyone on that defense has to be assignment sound. Alignment, assignment, and technique.
A hush over the crowd here in Annapolis. Under 8 minutes to go in the 3rd. Chapman motions out. Horvath will roll it that direction. On the move, floats one long. Man-to-man coverage and incomplete. DeClona broke it up against Heidenreich near the 10.
Big-time win for South Florida, and Jonas DeClona number 3, the cornerback. He's in coverage. See Heidenreich try to get to the ball, and DeClona doesn't panic. DeClona doesn't panic. He doesn't get his eyes turned around, but there's no pulling, there's no contact, minimal contact. Outstanding by DeClona.
So a 9-play drive. Sam, it eats up almost 5 minutes off the clock, but it ends the 3rd straight punt for the midshipmen. And a penalty flag comes in. There was contact with Jacob Carlson. And the return back to the 15. Let's see. So if it's running into the kicker, it's not enough for a first. If it's roughing, it would be on 4th and 8.
And that's going to be running into. They didn't go into the kick leg, the plant leg. It was the off leg. So it's going to be likely a 4th and 3. And if I'm Navy, I'm not afraid to go for it on this one. It was 4th and 8. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
And Brian Newberry contemplating his options.
Running into the kicker, receiving team number 25. 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
So they'll redo the 4th down. And let's see if the offense comes back on the field.
So Xavier Hamilton comes through there quickly. And just right there, running into that kick leg.
Sam, what would you do?
I would go for it. I would hard count, see what they do, and I would motion, I would go for it. It doesn't need to be a run, but I'd have something to the flat. So that's what I would do if I'm Navy on offense.
Big moment in this game. Blake Horvath, if they pick up the first down here, a back-breaking penalty for South Florida.
South Florida has to know that hard count could be coming. So we say earmuffs. Don't fall for the hard count on the front end. And then on the back end, you have to know that could be a quick pass to the flat. They only need 3 yards.
Heidenreich checks out. Charles Robinson is on the field for the Mids. 4th down and 3. Halfway home in our 3rd quarter. And a big moment here. Maybe needs to reach the 43-yard line. Keep the drive going. Chapman went in motion. Horvath the other way. To the edge. First down, midshipmen.
Just speed. That's all it is. Matt Harris, the linebacker, he knew the play was coming. He was right there. But Blake Horvath's athleticism is extremely underappreciated. Harris goes inside just a bit, and Blake Horvath uses his speed to get the first down. He's an underrated athlete, and that's the second level of this offense that makes them great.
And Horvath remains down after picking up the first. Remember, he missed last week at Notre Dame with an upper body injury. And they're taking a look at that right leg at the 43.
And when he missed last week, it was Braxton Woodson who went in and did a relatively good job, ran for over 100 yards. Going back to Horvath, using that speed to get to the edge. Great play fake. Outruns the defender.
And just felt something at that point and went down right away. So Horvath is out. Braxton Woodson is the backup. Sam mentioned it. He got the start in South Bend, did a nice job, rushed for over 100 yards. That game was basically a one-score affair right before halftime. And then the Irish took over. But Horvath picks up the first down, and now the junior from the Sunshine State against a team from the Sunshine State, and Braxton Woodson on the field. This drive for the Mids started with 12:27 to go in the quarter. Their own 17. Woodson is going to lose a yard. Tavin Ward with the TFL.
The experience that Woodson had last week is positive. As a defense, you have to maximize this moment. Their best player is off the field. So as a defense, they cannot get yards. They cannot go forward. You know that he's a better runner, Woodson is, than he is a passer, at least what he's shown on tape. So as a defense, you have to hunt right now. Your mindset has to be nothing is open for this backup quarterback.
12th play of the drive. Drew Cronick's offense shift out to a shotgun look from under center. High candy for Woodson to simply keep it back to the original line, and that's it. Celiscar will make it 3rd down and long.
Second time we've heard the name Celiscar, right? Transfer from A&M, graduated from UCF, the BS in psychology, 2-time team captain back at his old school, and now that leadership is showing up. That's my mindset. I see a backup in there. I have to dominate. That has to be the mindset for South Florida.
Only points of the second half coming from Byron Brown on a quarterback keeper for the touchdown. The South Florida Bulls. Chapman on the jet sweep, brought down short of the 40. So 4th down and long coming up for the midshipman. Mac Harris called his name a bunch to begin this 3rd quarter. Able to bring down Chapman, and now the punt team back on the field for the Mids. We saw this moments ago. And then a running into the kicker led to 4th and 3. Horvath picked up the first. And obviously his health now becomes paramount for Navy to try to close this game out.
Yeah, I love what you said about his health. I just go back to that halftime speech that Taylor was talking about with Golish. It might have been Golish, but it might have been Mac Harris. He's the leader. It might have been Jalen Schuler. Those guys may have said something to their teammates to say, we're not going to let this game slip away from us.
Fair catch made by Christian Neptune. The Bulls will take over, trailing by 8 when we return. Here on the weekend after Veterans Day, we think about America's heroes at the Naval Academy. You go back to the Heisman winner, Joe Bellino, to Roger Staubach, the 1963 Heisman Trophy winner, Napoleon McCallum, 2-time All-American. The Admiral himself, David Robinson, remember how great he was here at the Academy. And Keenan Reynolds, one of the all-time explosive quarterbacks here for the midshipmen, now a part of the radio crew. And a tremendous personality, the $1 million smile, the incredible explosiveness on the football field, Sam, still leaves an impression in your mind today.
People still talk about him. I was getting a barbershop out here in the Maryland area, and they were like, man, you think this Horvath kid could be like Keenan Reynolds? I was like, man, he's pretty close.
Yeah, Horvath has leaned on him for advice over the course of his career. You saw him trying to stay loose on that Navy sideline. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott. Taylor Davis, what is happening with Blake Horvath?
Yeah, Roy, he left the field on his own accord, came over to the sideline, never even entered the medical tent, was greeted by their training staff, was reaching for that right calf a little bit, spending some time on the bike, like you said, trying to stay loose.
Bulls on 2nd down and long, and the TFL lassoed down by Kenny McShann. He wants to be an astronaut. Incredible athleticism on display, and he has battled back from so many injuries in his career here at Navy.
And he's looking so good now. Despite the injuries, he's stepping up and making plays. That play, if he doesn't make that tackle, that's a 1st down, if not more. So talk about the response from South Florida. Well, Navy's responding as well, knowing that their star quarterback might be out. The defense is stepping up.
McShann switched to number 0 because he started with nothing after back-to-back ACL tears. Now on 3rd and long, Brown slings it incomplete. Koger made his break, and the pass was behind him. And the midshipmen forced the 3 and out deep in USF territory.
Coach Newberry has to be pleased at what he's seeing, because this is one of the most, if not the most complete game that Navy has played, at least on the defensive side of the ball. You're facing one of the most explosive offenses in all of college football in the ground game and the run game. You're trying to face that tempo, and they have not blinked. Only given up 3, maybe 4 explosive plays. It's been really special by this Navy defense.
End-over-end punt off the foot of Goder. Takes a Bulls roll into Navy territory at the 47. So the question remains, will it be Blake Horvath or not coming back? The helmet is on as he tries to get loose on the sideline. You're watching the American Conference here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium on ESPN. Great crowd on hand for Senior Day. And a reminder, the top of the American standings, Navy has one more win than the rest of the pack, Sam, and that means one step closer to the American Conference Championship game with just one game on the schedule after today. Horvath, the quarterback. And on the toss to Teska, rumbles into South Florida territory. The Navy drive begins now. Think about some of the key games still left in the conference. Later today, Memphis and East Carolina, both of those teams in contention. The Pirates with just one league loss. Temple has a chance to be the spoiler. And then that game on Thanksgiving, Navy and Memphis, could mean a whole heck of a lot, Sam.
Absolutely. Navy has a bye week after this, then to prepare for that game. That could decide who wins the conference.
Late toss, Heidenreich will pick up the first down. Tumbles inside the 40. Big drive for both sides. And remember, the last time that Navy had the short field, Mids were able to cash in. And so different things have been happening. Put Navy in position. That's going to be a gain of 7.
Cash in, but also held to a field goal. This is a critical possession for South Florida. A field goal makes it a 2-score game. So if South Florida can have Navy to go backwards, that gives them a better advantage, especially right now.
It's an offense that has been ranked as the #1 rushing attack for most of this season. And Horvath is going to gain what he can. Give him 2 yards. Don't forget Monday Night Football, Week 11. It is almost here. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys take on Geno Smith and the Raiders. 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes. The all-new ESPN app, Peyton and Eli, also on ESPN2 as coverage kicks off with NFL Live at 3 Eastern in Vegas. And Scott Van Pelt, the Monday Night Countdown crew, at 6 Eastern.
Raiders have struggled this year.
You thought it would go better with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith kind of doing their thing. It has not. Unbalanced look now as Horvath wants to throw it. Looking at the seam, looking at Heidenreich. He cannot get there. Laid out for it, 7 yards deep. It'll be 3rd down.
And I wish Blake Horvath would have got that ball off just a second quicker, because Eli Heidenreich had a step on the defender. You see the fake, and then he just has a little bit of hesitation. 1 second earlier, I think he would have been able to get that. Fred Gaskin is the defender. He gets beat, but no completion, so it doesn't matter.
Made the one-handed grab, the 82-yard reception in the second quarter today. And now is Navy's all-time leader in receiving yardage after that play. Mids on 3rd and 8. Horvath into the flats. Chapman still on his feet, and now 4th and short as he escapes to the 30. And you know what's coming.
Oh, yeah, they're going for it. I mean, I understand you can kick a field goal and make it a 2-score game, and I thought the spot would be a little bit closer. But I like going for it in this position. You run that much more time off of the clock.
They'll call it 4th and 3. Tough spot. And Navy content. Allow the clock to run under a minute to go in the 3rd.
We've got those condensed splits again.
Jumbo set, a flea flicker. Horvath gets it back, throws it up in the air. Man-to-man coverage. There's the flag. It was Ward trying to defend Chapman 25 yards down the field on 4th and 3.
That was a risky call.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that's a flea flicker. And it's 4th and 3. You're running a flea flicker. Everything is condensed. That was nearly a big-time mistake. See the ball's handed off to Teska. It gets fumbled by Blake Horvath. Then the courage to still get the ball out. And then Chapman, he's able to turn around and accept the contact. That was a veteran throw by Blake Horvath.
2 4th down conversions assisted by penalties today in critical situations for the midshipmen. Horvath to the end zone. Ran out of real estate, 9 yards deep to Heidenreich. Ben Knox was back there playing center field. Did a nice job, prevent the completion and the potential touchdown.
And South Florida, Roy, on the other side of the ball, they have to find a way to get the ball back again. Remember, earlier in the first half, Navy fumbled the ball and South Florida got it. Mac Harris, number 24, recovered a fumble. if they can get one more steal, one more possession, they'll feel a lot better about this game because they need 2 scores to actually win it. 1 score and a 2-point will tie it. But right now, they do not want to give up another point because it'll make it a 2-score possession game.
Heinrich out. Robinson in. And a punishing hit on 2nd and 10 by Jalen Schuler. And now the midshipmen, Sam, they don't have to run another play at the end of the 3rd quarter here.
And they won't, or they shouldn't. This is when people start putting their 4s up. And that 4, meaning 4th quarter, this is what you train for. If you're Navy, you say, man, all the off-season workouts that we do, all the basic training that we do, it's for this 4th quarter. And even South Florida, everyone has their 4s up on the sideline. This is why you train as a football player. You think about spring practice. You think about the summer workouts. You think about the offseason. Everything is for this moment. 4th quarter, game on the line, giving everything you have.
Emotions running high. 15 minutes remaining on Senior Day in Annapolis. And it has been the seniors that have led the charge. This weekend after Veterans Day, 24-16. Begin our 4th quarter. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. 3rd down and long coming up for the midshipmen. This Peloton Statement Saturday, you're watching ESPN College Football presented by Tom. Shovel pass. Inside run after making the grab to Jordan Collins, the freshman tight end. And the mids in field goal range will bring out Nathan Kirkwood.
Big time stop by South Florida, number 7, Jalen Schuler with the tackle. But this field goal, we said it earlier, could make it into a 2-score game if it's converted.
Well, Jordan Collins on the field in place of the injured Cody Howard on his senior day. Still doing his best to try to lead this Navy football program. 31-yard effort to make it a 2-score game. And Kirkwood connects. 27-16, just underway in our 4th quarter. When you think about the midshipmen over the course, really, Sam, in the last 15 to 20 years, and they have that lead after 3. It generally resonates into a win.
Yeah, well, that's part of it has to do with that ball control. But the other part of it has to do with their level of confidence. They don't beat themselves. And so this 2-score game, South Florida says, okay, this is right what we do. We go fast. Navy, on the other hand, they're like, all right, here's what we got to do if we want to make it to the playoff.
It's going to require a win today with an 11-point lead in the 4th. Road victory at Memphis. You make the American Championship. You win that one. The mission plan then gets really interesting with a potential announcement for the college football playoff. Then the game against Army in Baltimore. That does not count in regards to playoff possibilities and the potential 1st-round matchup as the playoff begins the 19th and 20th. The 12-team field. Fair catch made at the 5 for South Florida. Still plenty of time here. Now tomorrow on Sunday NFL Countdown, NFC Showdowns, live reports from everywhere, including Lions, Eagles, Seahawks, Rams. Plus Jeremy Schaap tells the story of Buffalo's table-smashing tradition. And O's the Mentalist goes inside the minds of the Rams. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
I spent a little bit of time in Buffalo in my time in the NFL, and I did not realize how much of a football city that place is. People say it's great out here. I was like, dude, it's Buffalo. No, it's great out there.
Football starved for a championship. Brown heaves it deep. Man-to-man coverage and incomplete. Here come multiple penalty flags. Nick Bell interfered with Jaquan Smith.
I don't love that call, Roy. I mean, I love the play call.
Pass interference. Defense number 10. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Trey Bell gets beat. So Jaquan Smith, the speedster, has a big-time lead on Trey Bell. But I didn't see the contact for that play to be called a pass interference. Well, now, contact or not, you move on next play, but expect South Florida to go back to the well and attack Trey Bell.
Now the ball was underthrown. That helped create some of that contact. 15-yard infraction, not a spot foul. Byron Brown off to the races, and there he goes, all the way to the end zone. And the South Florida Bulls right back in it from 60 yards out. Remember, they went for 2 earlier, came up empty, and now trailing by 5. It seems natural Alex Golish will go for 2 once again. Two-point conversion makes it a 3-point game. And a bevy of big plays on both sides. Crowd on its feet. Rubin goes in motion. Brown back to the end zone, and Rubin with a tap dance. Yes, it was in. 27-24.
So it started off with the touchdown run by Byron Brown. Great block by number 15, Alvon Isaac. You have the pump fake, you spread him out, run right down the middle. And then you have Moody or Rubin on the big-time play. Brown is an extremely elite-level athlete, but Rubin, the transfer from Stanford, finds the back of the end zone for a 2-point conversion and to make it a 1-score game.
ESPN College Football is presented by Tums Fast Heartburn Relief, so you can love food back.
That touchdown run by Byron Brown moments ago ties his career long. From 60 yards out, his dad Drew celebrating, and the hardware in the house in Annapolis in a brand new game. Midshipman with a 3-point lead, and Navy set to receive the football back. So we check in again with Kevin Connors, KC.
Roy, South Carolina led Texas A&M 30-3, but here come the Aggies. Marcel Reed to Nate Borkesher.
They ripped off 3 straight touchdowns to open the third quarter, all passes by Reed.
30-24 game. Roy, headed to the 4th over on ESPN.
So some drama down in College Station, also here in Annapolis, Kevin and Trevor. And by the way, congratulations, Trevor Maddich, inducted into the BYU Hall of Fame. As an offensive lineman. We saw all of that at halftime, and a tip of the cap as Blake Horvath races ahead for an 8-yard gain on the QB follow. Our player spotlight today brought to you by Tecovas, and Blake Horvath on the field, sensational. Off of it, Sam, you know something about being in contention for the Campbell Trophy Award, and he's got a chance to win those honors as you did back in 2010.
Yeah, William V. Campbell Trophy, it's the academic Heisman Trophy, and he's a finalist for that award. So outstanding in the classroom, amazing off of the field, on the field as well. He can do it all.
And Blake Horvath remains down on the turf. And I mentioned it moments ago, back in 2010, all smiles, the family there, and I know a very proud moment in your career.
It was. That's my mom, my dad, my younger brother Emmanuel, and for me that was the ultimate award. You're on the field and you're trying to go to the national championship and you're competing, but then off the field you're getting rewarded for all the hard work you do in the classroom, and that's what Blake Horvath has been doing. He's been working hard in the classroom and trying to work as a leader off the field. So it's not just classroom, it's not just on the field, but it's your leadership as well. So it's a big-time opportunity for Blake.
And requiring a little bit of assistance to reach the sideline. That is the second time today that has happened. So Braxton Woodson back on the field, and a penalty flag flies on 2nd down.
Encroachment offense, number 36, lined up over the neutral zone. It's a 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Sam, that's a freshman tight end, Jordan Collins, who caught the shovel pass moments ago. A mistake there. From 2nd and 2, they'll shift it back to 2nd and 7.
Defense there, mindset again. They see the backup in, they see Braxton Woodson in, they say, all right, this is our opportunity to get the ball back. Maybe it's a turnover, or maybe it's more negative plays. The last time Woodson was out there were 2 plays where Navy went backwards. South Florida is going to try to continue that by bringing pressure and being aggressive.
Mids are trying to stop a 2-game losing streak. Woodson, full head of steam, dives towards the line to gain. And that is enough for the first down.
So Woodson uses his size to his advantage. Braxton Woodson, 6'3", 215, so not quite 235 like the quarterback on the other side, but he's bigger than Blake Horvath. Watch him just lower his shoulder and get the first down.
Drew Cronick mentioned to us in regards to Braxton Woodson as Horvath remains sidelined. It's all about confidence with Navy's backup signal caller. And even Blake Horvath told us that in regards to Woodson. Into the flats, pass will be corralled. And Heidenreich to the 40-yard line.
So the challenge as a defense with a quarterback making a throw like that is now you're like, oh shoot, he can throw it as well with accuracy. He doesn't feel the pressure. Yeah, he played against Notre Dame last week, but that game got a little bit lopsided. So if you can be a dual threat quarterback, i.e. you're big, you're fast, you're strong running it, but also you can throw it, then you don't have to worry as much about Blake Horvath trying to get back in the game quicker because you know your backup can do the job.
Just the 6th pass thrown by Navy. Another 24 first downs today. Quarterback follow. Makes it 3rd down and short.
Critical 3rd down because of time. That's the biggest thing I'm thinking of. If I'm Navy, I'm thinking about the time. You get a first down, that's probably another 2-3 minutes going to go off the clock. So South Florida on the inside has to be stout. But going back to where they lost specifically, it's been some of these matchups with bad eyes by some of the guys on defense.
Both teams with exactly 379 yards of total offense. 3-point lead for the midshipmen, and they will try to shove Woodson across the line to gain, and they did. Heidenreich with the extra push, and that was more than enough.
Second time we've seen that play run, and think about it. All I'm thinking is tick, tick, tick. I get it. You're saying it's 11 minutes left. What are you talking about? Navy's the best when it comes to time of possession. So they're going to take their sweet time. They're going to let the clock run down. 3 yards here, 4 yards there. And all of a sudden, South Florida may not get the ball back with more than 3-4 minutes on the clock.
And the Mids in absolutely no hurry. A drive that started way back at the 25 with 14 minutes to go. Heidenreich, plant cuts and explodes. And a 2-yard gain on first down. It's exactly what Brian Newberry wants to see.
It is. That's all they need. All they need is 2-3 yards on first down, 3-4 yards on second down. You're in a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. So South Florida has to know that we cannot panic. It's no problem, but we have to be a little bit more stout, not letting them fall forward. We have to knock them backwards. We've seen Jalen Schuler do that a couple times, Mike Harris do that a couple times. It can't just be those two. It has to be everyone on that defensive side of the ball.
Chance for the college football playoff on the line for South Florida. Woodson wants to throw it. Has a man wide open. Pass is caught. Guess who? Heidenreich. It'll be first down for the midshipmen. Gain of 32. And the Mids on the move once again.
They will just lull you to sleep. That's all they want to do. They run it. They run an option and eyes in the backfield again by the defense. Looks like it was number 2, Tavin Ward again, looking in the backfield and getting beat on that same corner route. That's all Navy wants to do is just lull you to sleep, rock you to sleep, and then beat you in a myriad of ways.
5 catches, 146 yards in one game. Woodson, end zone! Yes, sir! No Horvath, no problem, and Blake more than happy to watch his backup Braxton Woodson take his team all the way down the field into the end zone.
Braxton Woodson, the junior from Florida with the quarterback follow, started last week versus Notre Dame, so he has experience. He knows what to expect and just uses his patience to get to the end zone. Brilliant play calling by this Navy football team.
Back to a 2-score advantage. 34-24 with 9:29 to go.
Braxton Woodson is the backup quarterback, but he's playing like the starter. Runs a quarterback follow and finds the end zone. It's not just him, it's the starter, the star, Blake Horvath on the sideline rejoicing for the win.
Now, Braxton Woodson comes from a football family. His dad played at Auburn. His uncle played at Alabama. And we go back moments ago, Navy with a 10-point lead. First through the air, the pass to Eli Heidenreich. And then Braxton Woodson does what Braxton Woodson loves to do, Sam, and that is find the end zone on the ground with a QB follow.
Yeah, this is run to perfection, but what opened up this play was the pass earlier. You start passing the ball as a quarterback on a running team, all of a sudden the defense backs up a little bit more, they hesitate, and then Braxton Woodson does the rest.
Still plenty of time left for South Florida and its college football playoff hopes. Byron Brown being touted as a potential Heisman candidate. Now would be a good time to make his statement. He wants to get to New York City. He's got the stats to prove it and back it up. He's got some work to do to try to lead a comeback on the road in hostile territory. Coming up at 3:30 Eastern, ABC the place to be. Also the all-new ESPN app. 4th-ranked Bama hosting number 11 Oklahoma. A rough and rugged SEC. Then in primetime tonight, 7:30 Eastern, Arch Manning, number 10 Texas, squaring off against Gunnar Stockton and number 5 UGA. And on this statement Saturday, all the games to come that should impact the college football playoff race. From the Big 12 to the SEC, the ACC, even the Sun Belt, Sam, with JMU, team that we saw a week ago, just one loss. It came on the road at Louisville. And they would love to jump up and take South Florida's spot, or the American Conference champion spot in the college football playoff this year. Byron Brown, plenty of time. The hezzy, and he escapes out of bounds towards the 20.
So many impactful games. That Duke game versus Virginia, especially with what happened last night, is an impactful game. NC State, Miami, huge weekend.
After a gain of 4. Inside it goes to Nakai Davenport. He called his name a lot in the first quarter, not as much since. He races for 9 yards there. Cauley brought him down. And here comes the tempo for the Bulls. Brown retreating and firing. That's a strike. Jeremiah Coger with Parker in the area, and that's a gain of 5 more.
Remember how easy it's been at times for South Florida to get the ball down the field. That's why you said this game is far from over. The receivers have the mismatch on the defensive backs.
Tunnel screen down to the turf. And Coger lost his balance. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Trailing by 10, they're going to say he lost a yard. I wonder how compelling it would be to go for it on 4th down if you gain anything here.
Got 7 guys up at the line of scrimmage. Could be a quick screen or a deep shot down the field.
Brown lobs it. Ruben corrals it. That's enough to move the sticks. And that was Wyatt Sullivan, who snuck in there, number 8. 15th catch of the season, a gain of 19.
The offensive coordinator Joe Gordon said we have to have answers when Navy brings this 7-man up, and that was one of the answers. Wasn't a screen, just a little quick flip over the top.
Great touch by Brown near midfield. Brown wants it all. Man-to-man coverage again, and incomplete. Keyshawn Singleton. Coverage by Cam Robinson, and the freshman was right on top of that play.
Talked about it a couple plays ago, maybe even last quarter. The experience of this Navy defensive backfield. They have held their own. They struggled last week, kind of struggled this season, but the DBs have slowed down the passing game for Byron Brown.
Good game again for Byron Brown, the senior. 140 friends and family in attendance today. Saw his dad Drew celebrating that touchdown run moments ago. On 2nd and 10, sidearm and out of bounds. Jonathan Eccles. Coverage by Luke Pierce. Right on top of his shoulder pad. It'll be 3rd and 10.
This game oftentimes is won and lost on 3rd down. People say, what's the most important down? And it feels like it's this down, and specifically at this time left in the game.
Bulls got to have it. Six-man front for the midshipmen. And South Florida 4 of 10 on third down today. Here they come. Brown weaving his way through traffic, diving ahead across the 40, and stopped just at that line to gain and about maybe a half-yard shy of a first down. 4th and 1. Brown to the air. Pitch and catch. That'll move the sticks to the 30. Udia Rubin again.
No hesitation on that. Alex Golish knew exactly what he was going to do as far as going for that 4th down, and now they're going back with that speed.
Inside handoff. Davenport tripped up at the 30. Coleman calling. And the Bulls, Sam, able to dink and dunk their way down the field. Do they have a shot at them? Try to make it a one-score game again. Backwards throw. Wide open end zone. The answer is yes. Was it caught? It was for the touchdown. Jeremiah Coger. Alex Golish told us this week, Nakai Davenport's been an outstanding running back. He can also throw it. And we took note, and there it was when the Bulls had to have it.
The courage and confidence it takes to call that play at that time. Nakai Davenport is a running back, but coach told us, hey, he can throw it as well. Passes backwards, and Davenport gets it to the end zone. That was a heck of a catch.
And the extra point is no good. Nico Gramatica was perfect on extra points before that attempt this season.
So start with the reverse pass. You throw it back to your running back. Your running back throws it to your freshman receiver, who makes a shoestring catch to make it a one-score game.
Back here in Annapolis, Navy has led from the jump 34-30, and moments ago, Nico Gramatica, now a sophomore out of Tampa. His father, of course, Martin Gramatica. The low snap came in. It was quickly corralled by Chase Leon, the holder, but that was enough to create the disruption in rhythm. And Gramatica, now in his second season, his first extra point missed. And so instead of a field goal game, Sam, that lead remains at 4, which could be critical. The Bulls still have to get a stop of this Navy offense. Back to the studio. KC, what do you have for us today? Kevin Connors.
Roy, 28 unanswered points for Texas A&M. This is E.J. Smith, Trevor Maddich for the lead.
This is a run, but this comeback in the second half has been all Marcel Reed's passing. He's been magnificent.
Roy, the Aggies on top. And then Chandler Morris will play for Virginia today. He's been in concussion protocol all week following a nasty hit last Saturday. Virginia at Duke coming up bottom of the hour.
We cannot wait. And Braxton Woodson back in at quarterback for the midshipmen. Horvath sideline with an injury. On the toss to Teska. Teska rumbles across the 30. Knox brought him down. The block by Heidenreich, and 46-22. High school teammates continue to do everything for each other and the Naval Academy.
Seniors on this team, leaders on this team. You could argue they're the backbone of this team. If they want to win, they're going to be critical with a backup quarterback, Braxton Woodson, entering the game.
On the rocket toss, gain of 9, almost better than a first down. Keep that clock grinding away, and Teska will pick up the first on the very next play. So approaching 5 minutes to go, Mac Harris brought him down, but the drive begins now for the Mids.
I can't underestimate the statement you just made. A 9-yard gain for most isn't great, but a 9-yard gain for Navy is better than a first down in this situation, because you get a chance to run 40 more seconds off the clock, get a first down, and then run another 40 seconds off the clock. So 9 is great if you're Navy.
Second half possessions, the midshipmen. Bulls had the advantage early. And not so much these last 2 tries with Braxton Woodson coming in. Straight ahead on first down. South Florida does have all 3 timeouts remaining plus the 2-minute stoppage. Jacob Merrifield made the tackle. No gain on the play. It's 2nd and long.
And now it's a little bit too early to start thinking about using those timeouts, because use one now and they get a first down. Now you're down 1. You just show that your defense needs to show that you can stop them, and then you have those timeouts safe for a little bit later.
Pair of 7-win programs. Navy has its eyes on the American Conference Championship game. 1 step closer with a win today. That would put them at 6-1 in the league. Woodson with a path. Big yardage for the midshipmen. Braxton Woodson all the way. .3:59 to go. And the lead expands to 11.
Braxton Woodson has a slot back go into motion, and he essentially runs a zone read type of play. But it's not just the decision, it's the block by left tackle Sean Crowley and the speed to be able to outrun the entire defense. And then you see the response. Hey, everybody, calm down. Calm down. He says this place is in good hands. When Blake Horvath is gone, you will be just fine. Braxton Woodson, 6'3", 215, from Florida. Patient. Smooth. Confident. End zone.
From a football family, Braxton Woodson, who got the start a week ago in the loss at Notre Dame. Full support from his starting quarterback in Blake Horvath, who we saw begin the second half and now sidelined with an apparent injury. The lead back to a 2-score advantage for the midshipmen, now over 500 yards of total offense. And Woodson's last 2 touchdown runs from 64 and 20 yards out. And his full arsenal on display. Game that Navy has never trailed. After the fair catch, Bulls get it back with Byron Brown. And remember, South Florida with all 3 timeouts to work with, plus the 2-minute timeout. There's still time on the road.
Navy needs to sag off just a little bit. Why? Because South Florida is going to be attacking the outside, point blank period. They have to if they want to win. Navy needs to let South Florida take as much time as they want. Underneath passes will not beat you in this situation. Don't get beat over top.
Bulls have to win, stay in that CFP race. Victory puts their chances right at 50%, reaching the college football playoff out of the group of 5. Not easy to do. Alex Golas told us this week that's not something he's talking about with his team. He knows and recognizes the outside noise. 9-yard gain on first down. Inside zone, needed a yard. He'll pick up maybe a yard and a half. Move the sticks.
Clock still ticks. If it's not inside 2 minutes, first down still help you if you're South Florida.
Avon Isaac, the running back. He drifts out. The pass is caught into Navy territory. It's Coger again. Jeremiah Coger, one of the favorite targets of Byron Brown today. And South Florida on the move again. Bulls have been in this hurry-up 2-minute mode, it feels like, most of the day, as their offenses run at most of this season in that capacity.
That clock is still ticking, though. That's the problem with some of these audibles. Time is not your friend if you're offense.
After picking up the first down, Brown flushed out of the pocket. Will get what he can inside the 45.
The clock will stop until the ball gets reset. Then once that ball is reset, that clock will continue to tick. So Navy is happy with this. Nobody likes to give up yards, but Navy's saying, all right, as long as you don't get in the end zone and take time off the clock, you're happy. South Florida has to start taking shots in the end zone quickly.
For a gain of 7. Bulls ranked in the top 25 of last Tuesday's latest iteration of the CFP rankings. And Brown was shoved out of bounds right at the line to gain. And let's see, they'll mark him back about a yard.
And I wonder when you start thinking, when you get to field goal range, take the 3 points and then try to get the ball back a second time, because that's the issue, the time.
Time ticking away in the present moment. Approaching the 2-minute timeout. Here's Byron Brown on 3rd down. Tunnel screen to the perimeter. Cuts it back inside. A hurdle. And Rubin gets to the end zone. Mudia Rubin, the Stanford transfer, with blockers in front, makes the mids pay along that far side.
So Mudia Rubin graduated from Stanford, so he's smart. He gets a great block by Jeremiah Koger, but watch his strength, the speed, the agility, the strength. You hurdle over somebody, you knock them over. Isaac was a pre-med graduate. Now he's studying pharmaceutical nanotech, so he's smart, he's strong, he's physical, and now the most critical point in the game.
The Bulls score the touchdown without using any of their 3 timeouts. Going for 2 again, a chance to make it a field goal contest.
This is another 2-point conversion. I still go back to that first quarter where they went for 2 instead of kicking an extra point. That would have changed everything.
Davenport in at running back. Brown towards that back corner, and it's corralled. Brought in cleanly by Keyshawn Singleton. He scored the touchdown earlier in the game, the 2-point conversion here. And the lead is down to 3.
So Mudia Rubin, Stanford graduate, Stanford transfer.
Operator, please have.
Makes everybody miss. Gets it to the end zone. And then the 2-point conversion off the fake tunnel screen. Now it's a 3-point game.
Kevin Connors in studio. We are moments away from Virginia Duke here on ESPN2. Darian Mensah, the top passer in the ACC. 13 consecutive games with at least 2 passing touchdowns. Roy, a game of enormous import in the ACC and the CFP.
Important game there and an important game here as the Bulls attempt the onside kick, and the midshipman right on top of it. Gramatica sent the wobbler, and Philip Hamilton dived right on top of the pigskin. We're past the 2-minute timeout, Sam, and a great job by the hands team for the Naval Academy there, but South Florida with all 3 timeouts remaining.
Gramatica's not the normal kickoff guy. He's the onside guy, so Philip Hamilton sees that. The entire defense or hands team sees that, and Hamilton does a great job of staying calm, staying patient, and recovering the onside kick.
Braxton Woodson back on the field at quarterback. This is the first game in the American Conference this year where both teams have gone over 500 yards of total offense. Navy has not trailed. Teska on the rocket toss, driven backwards. Well, the Bulls will utilize their first of 3 timeouts here.
First charge timeout, South Florida.
Well, if you're just tuning in, what a game you have missed. We go back to our first 2 quarters, and really a trio of Navy seniors helped lead the charge. Alex Teska got the scoring party started from 76 yards out.
And then his high school teammate Eli Heidenreich found the end zone with a one-handed grab.
And then Brandon Chapman to close out that scoring possession. 3rd touchdown of the season for Brandon Chapman. His only scholarship offer before Navy came from NAIA Warner. And Blake Horvath, who's been banged up in the second half, has the helmet on, but on the sidelines. Taylor, what are you seeing down there at quarterback?
You know what? I've been watching Blake Horvath on and off the bike, doing some high knees, continuing to stretch out that lower body just in case he needed to go back in. But you know what, Roy? I think this game embodies his time here at Navy. He's had to battle through some challenges, play through injury, but man, what success he has had here in Annapolis.
No question about it. 2nd down and 9. Shane Reynolds on the field. Woodson straight ahead. And corralled at the 36. QB follow. Woodson still moving the pile. Sam, this is a big deal. If he gets the first down, then mathematics start to enter the equation in favor of the midshipmen.
And it looks like a first down. The side judge is saying, hey, move that ball forward. This is not for, that's not Braxton Woodson. That's the entire team. You talk about love, care, and passion. Woodson's a part of it, but what did the players say this entire week? We all have to do our 1/11th. Each person do your job. So Woodson uses his size, but watch everybody. Watch Shane Reynolds, number 37. Watch the offensive line. But you see guys start to jump in there and push the pile. That's passion, that's care, that's love and sacrifice to get that first down.
There is an injured South Florida player down to the 32. Tavin Ward. Requiring some time to be helped to his feet, but Braxton Woodson on in relief. Blake Horvath, the injured Navy starter, has had himself an incredible performance and reintroducing himself. The Navy football faithful today, Sam.
He hasn't missed a beat. Blake Horvath went down and Braxton Woodson stepped up. Those 39 pass yards don't seem like much, but the times where they were received were the most critical times of the game. So hasn't missed a beat. His uncle played quarterback at Alabama. Dad played at Auburn. He has a history, football in his blood, and man, he's not slipping up by any stretch of the imagination.
In a game that both sides absolutely have to have. Navy and its American Conference Championship hopes on the line. That log jam at the top of the league. And then for South Florida, its eyes on the big prize, the college football playoff, representing the group of 5. Navy will have something to say too, getting back into that conversation if this score stands. And Ward finally on his feet. We talked about the Bulls with a win today, what those percentages look like. With a loss, virtually minuscule. The win for Navy. Road trip to Memphis, remember, coming up the final weekend of the regular season on Thanksgiving, and potentially the American Conference Championship game. That 2% will rise if the midshipmen continue to win games. But for the Bulls, this would be loss number 3 and an absolute killer regards to the college football playoff hopes.
Yeah, what South Florida needs to do at this position is to strip at the ball. You have to take the ball away because that clock is ticking. South Florida only has 2 timeouts left. Navy's going to try to run out as much of it as possible. You have to take the ball away, take shots at the ball, whatever it takes. And Navy's going to say to their running backs and quarterback, 2 hands on the rock.
And Blake Horvath on the field. Blake Horvath on senior day returns to try to seal the deal. Mids just need to hold on to the football. Horvath, hard collision and upended quickly with a timeout called by South Florida. Jalen Schuler, a rude reintroduction to the Navy senior.
Second charge timeout, South Florida.
Good hit by Schuler. Only 1 timeout left by South Florida. So the keys are the keys. Nothing changes. For South Florida, if you're Todd Orlando, the DC, you're telling your players, get the football. If you're Navy, it's 2 hands on the ball. You cannot afford to turn it over.
Todd Orlando trying to dial something up. Try to figure out a way to steal the football away. Don't forget Virginia and Duke, critical game in the ACC. Right now, Duke at the letter of the law with one of the best opportunities out of the Atlantic Coast Conference to reach its championship game, and that would create a very chaotic situation in regards to the playoff and the ACC's college football playoff hopes. Georgia Tech also a part of that. For Brian Newberry, Sam, so close he can taste it at this point. Bulls just 1 timeout remaining.
It's not fully over yet. So 59 seconds left. 1 timeout for South Florida. Navy runs a play and gets stopped. You can run about 40 seconds off. And do you kick a field goal to make it a 6-point game? Do you just run a play or punt it? Those are the questions that need to be answered.
Hand off to Heidenreich. Wisely stays inbounds, cuts it inside across the 30. The Bulls will utilize their final timeout with 55 seconds to go.
South Florida. 30 seconds.
Now you think about what's in front of the midshipmen. This game today, if the score holds, makes that Memphis contest in 2 weeks. Remember, a bye week next week for the Mids. All that much more important. Potentially the American Championship. Bracket is announced for the CFP on December 7th. The Mids realistically get back into that conversation with a win today. The answer is yes. And then Army in a game that does not count in regards to the playoff or the American standings. Grueling matchup that will be down the road in Baltimore and then the first round potentially of the CFP.
If Navy finds a way to win this game, that game at Memphis on Thanksgiving is going to mean everything, Thanksgiving night. Because this win will not clinch them a conference championship. But if they win at Memphis, that likely would. And so now you make your conference championship game, and then if you win your conference champion, you would likely be one of the top 5 highest ranked conference champions, meaning that you'd be in the playoff. It's not guaranteed, but that's what it means. That's the plan.
Bulls are out of timeouts. If Navy could somehow waste about 15 seconds, that would essentially end the game. Let's see what Horvath decides to do. He's just going to run it straight into the pile, and it all comes down to when that play clock is reset.
So what I would do if I'm Navy, if the clock run down to 1 second, you call a timeout. And then there's this play, essentially like a throwaway play. Snap it to the quarterback runs, and then just throws it as high as he can and let it land out of bounds. That play could take about 7 or so seconds. There's about a 7-second differential.
And Brian Newberry contemplating all those options. In my opinion, the last thing you want to do is attempt a kick of any kind. Just find a way to erase those final 6.5 to 7 seconds.
That's right. That's why you call that timeout. Should be about 7 seconds left. And then you snap it to Blake Horvath, have him run, and then just toss it as high as he can. Sail it out of bounds, because the clock will not stop until that ball hits out of bounds.
Brian Newberry on the verge of winning on senior day, completing an unblemished record at home this year. It would be Navy's 8th win of the season and 6th win in the American.
Delay of game.
Even better.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. It will be 4th down.
At this point, what I'm hearing from you.
10-second runoff. So the game clock will start in the snap. Please add 1 second to the game clock. 7 seconds, please.
Horvath gets the snap, or whoever's in at quarterback, race backwards, chew up some time, and then if you want to heave one deep to allow all the time to run off, that's the play.
Not if you want to, you have to. Teams practice this all the time. It's a play that you run when there's about 5-6 seconds left. You run around for a little bit, and then you throw it up.
Braxton Woodson back on the field on 4th down, 7 seconds to go. And that's what he'll do. Retreating as far as he can, avoiding the pressure, heaving one deep and out of bounds. And the clock shows 0-0.
The game is not
It
over.
worked.
The previous play is under further review to determine.
And now they want to take one more look. 41-38. Replay will take a look to make sure that 1 second shouldn't be added back onto the clock as Woodson's pass went out of bounds some 30 yards away. Hold the camera, hold the interview. Stranger things have happened. We'll take a look at the clock and what we see in conjunction with Woodson's pass. He releases that with about 4 seconds to go.
Ooh, it looks like there was 1 second left. The question is, when does that ball touch out of bounds? Not when it crosses out of bounds, when it touches something out of bounds. And when it touches something, from what it looks like, is that there was 1 second left.
There was.
So if that's the case, moving forward, now South Florida is going to have one play. Navy needs to have everybody all the way back. This is the time you're too far back for a Hail Mary. So South Florida is going to think essentially hook and lateral. Flip, 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 flip. And then Navy has to say, everybody stay back, and then make the tackle.
Our replay official, Mark Larson, in conjunction with the command center for the American. And Remember, too, if you are Navy and 1 second goes back on the clock, you can't commit that pass interference penalty. That would result in an untimed down and another chance for Byron Brown. So it's not over yet. Tim Rich with the call.
After review, the pass was incomplete and hit the ground with 1 second on the game clock. It will be South Florida's ball, first down at the 34-yard line. The game clock will start on the snap.
1 second to go, and the Bulls have one play remaining, barring a penalty. And the prevent defense on the field for the midshipmen. Last defender in the last line of defense, all the way back near the 15.
So you're not thinking throw it as deep as you can. You're thinking hook and lateral.
Byron Brown, crossing pattern. There's the first lateral. Now the second. Davenport has it, throws it backwards. Navy's on top of it. That will do it, an upset in Annapolis as the midshipmen find a way on Senior Day. (41-38) the final score. Blake Horvath, Byron Brown, two of the great quarterbacks in the American. It was advantage Horvath on his Senior Day here in Annapolis. 3-point win for the midshipmen. Let's send you now to Virginia and Duke. Mike Monaco, Kirk Morrison. Gentlemen,